more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As a Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The Northeastern states to go to the poll. Assembly elections in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. The Election Commission's press conference will take place at 2:30 this afternoon. The ACI is to declare dates for polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. The BRS is likely to hold its first big rally as a national party, multiple opposition leaders to join in. The Aam Aadmi Party, the Samajwadi Party and the left will be attending KCR's rally. Is it an attempt for another front ahead of 2024? And Russian media says Vladimir Putin will be making a huge announcement on the war in Ukraine. India will be facing New Zealand in the first one-day international in the three-match one-day series in Hyderabad. Good morning and thank you very much for staying with us on Republic TV. This is Live and Breaking. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri and we begin with news that's just coming in with regards to state assembly elections. We are now learning that the Election Commission will be announcing poll dates for the states of Nagaland, Tripura and Meghalaya. This is a news briefing that takes place at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon where these dates are likely to be announced. Do remember that the three states are due for polls this year, and we are told that the announcement could be made by about 2:30 this afternoon. Let's go across to Piyush Mishra, who has more details on this. Piyush, good morning. Tell us more, please.
Good morning, Nupur, to you and to all our viewers. Remember that today is a very important day as far as the announcement of elections in northeastern states are concerned. What we are now learning from our sources is that elections are going to be announced in the states of Nagaland, Meghalaya and Tripura. And an official statement has already been released by Election Commission of India, where it has notified that at 2:30 the Election Commission would be addressing a press conference announcing the dates. So what we are now given to understand is that that announcement will take place at 2:30 p.m. Also, it's important to point out about the meetings, a series of meetings those have taken place in these three states. On January 11, a team headed by Chief Election Commissioner had gone to these three states where they met with the political parties, also officials from civil authorities and central security forces to understand the current situation, the number of voters, the preparations which state has done for elections. So after looking into all the things, finally the Election Commission of India has decided to announce the dates, and this has been done after all the plannings, due plannings, and supervising each and every aspect. After looking into all the things there in these states, now Election Commission has come to the conclusion that dates are now need to be announced in these three states, because the term of assemblies in these three states are going to come to an end by the March end. What we know is that in Meghalaya the assembly term is going to come to an end on March 15. In Nagaland it is going to come to an end on March 12, and in Tripura on March 22. So before that, Election Commission, which has already met with the necessary elements, the important people, the political parties and the representatives of civil society, civil and security officials, now Election Commission has now come to a conclusion that dates are going to be announced, and that announcement will take place today at 2:30 p.m. Now let us tell to our viewers the current political situation in these three states. Tripura has the BJP government in its hand. In Meghalaya and Nagaland, BJP is part of ruling coalition. Remember that in its national executive, BJP has sent out a clear message to all its cadre that it has to ensure that BJP forms government in all these states, and if not the government, then they should be the part of coalition. So they are already in a coalition government in Nagaland and Meghalaya. In Tripura, BJP has its government, and the message would now be circulated to all the workers to pull up their socks and put all their best as far as winning elections in these three states are concerned. We'll have to wait and watch in how many phases the Election Commission is now going to announce these states. But soon after the announcement, all political parties are going to put their best as far as winning elections in these three northeastern states are concerned. Nupur.
Now, Piyush, as you're talking, of course, one of the key agendas for these three states is going to revolve around development in the region. And that's been something, that we are likely to see the focus really stay on, isn't it? So give us a sense of what you feel will be the core issues that will be involved in these elections for the three states.
Well, certainly, Nupur. Remember that soon after forming government in 2014, PM Narendra Modi has put a special focus on northeastern states. Remember that a minister, PM Jitendra Singh, Dr. Jitendra Singh was appointed to specially supervise the things there in northeastern states, to look after the development in northeastern states. In the last many years, we have seen how development has reached out to last mile there in these states, because before 2014, people used to talk about AFSPA, people used to talk about the security threats there and also non-development. But after the formation of government in the center, we have seen how BJP government being led by Narendra Modi has been keeping a close watch and a focus on there in these states. So once again, we will see how BJP is going to perform there in these states. In fact, in Tripura, BJP formed a government after removing the left government which was ruling there for many years. As far as Meghalaya and Nagaland is concerned, there also BJP had no presence, but because of the developmental work which has been initiated by central government. We saw how people inclining towards the BJP, but now once again we'll see if people are going to vote for BJP or not. But yes, development is the main issue, main agenda, which is once again would be the topmost focus point during the elections also. But at the same time, BJP has to keep in mind that there are some other political parties also, those interests need to be taken care of. So at one side, BJP is already trying its best to win these elections. On the other side, there are some political parties who are yet to come out with the strategy as to how to go ahead and move ahead in fighting these elections. So the main focus of these elections would also once again be the developmental issues and also the connectivity issue. In fact, the security issues are going to be are also going to be important one on which the people are going to vote for our political party whenever elections takes place. But today, Election Commission is going to make a big announcement at 2:30 p.m. where dates are going to be announced. Remember that the term of the assembly in these elections in these states are going to come to an end in the March end. Nupur.
Now, of course, as you're pointing out, the term ends in March, and we are also given to understand that just last week, the Chief Election Commissioner, along with the team, had visited these three states. They'd taken stock of the security situation. They'd met civil officials of these areas. But also, how much of a concern is security in these areas? Specifically, for instance, Nagaland. Do you think that, with polls we are looking at polls soon, there will be perhaps emphasis on security, at least in Nagaland?
Well, certainly there will be emphasis on security, and security there in that particular state in Nagaland is going to be one of the biggest issue on which people would be focusing on before casting their vote. In the last few years, the ruling government has been claiming that it has been able to bring down the threat issues from the state and has been able to emphasize the security of people, has been able to give better connectivity, better security to the people, safety and security to the people. But that's the people of the state. Those have to decide if they are going to vote for this political party, the ruling government there in Nagaland. In Tripura also we have seen a few security issues, law and order issues in last few years. But that has also somewhere being addressed by the BJP. Once again, when elections take place, it has to be decided only by the people if they are going to vote for a political party in Tripura too. But the main concern of the people there in Northeastern state is yet to be the developmental issues, the security issues. Those by and large have been addressed, but there are many other issues. Those are still pending. Those needs to be addressed. And people now at the end of the day will have to decide how they are going to put out their verdict after the announcement of dates for the elections in these three Northeastern states.
Absolutely. Piyush Mishra bringing us those details from New Delhi. Thank you for the moment. As Piyush is pointing out, 2:30 is the time when the Election Commission's briefing takes place this afternoon. Thank you, Piyush. And here's a look at what else is making news this morning. The ruling BRS in Telangana is all set to organize a public rally at Khammam. The rally will be attended by top political leaders, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Mann, Kerala's Chief Minister, and the Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav. Bihar Minister Surendra Prasad Yadav has stoked a massive controversy hitting out at the BJP after Amit Shah's returning to power in 2024 statement. He said, and I quote, the BJP will be wiped out when elections come. The BJP attacks the army. This time it seems that the BJP will attack some country.
साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
आपको लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कोई बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है। इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा।
In fact, after the Bihar minister's controversial remark, the BJP has hit back, lashing out at the minister. The BJP questioned law and order in Bihar, and the BJP spokesperson said in a statement that the mafia have a free pass in the state.
Surendra Prasad Yadav, who says कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आर्मी पर हमला करवाती है और इस बार किसी देश पर हमला करवाएगी. This shows the mindset of the RJD, which wants to do राजनीति और राष्ट्रनीति.
A case has been registered against the Telangana BJP President Bandi Sanjay Kumar's son for allegedly assaulting a student. Meanwhile, the video of the assault has gone viral on social media and an investigation is underway. Responding to Congress leader Sachin Pilot's remark on Rajasthan paper leak case, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has said that his government's actions in the case are aimed at aspirants. Meanwhile, Gehlot also refuted opposition allegations of his party leaders being involved. After months-long protest, Punjab's Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has ordered the closure of a liquor factory in Firozpur. Bhagwant Mann ordered the immediate closure of the distillery and the ethanol plant. In a mega crackdown on terror in Punjab's Gurdaspur, BSF troops recovered a consignment of Pakistani weapons dropped by drones. Additionally, 4 pistols, 8 magazines and 47 rounds were seized elsewhere. The Karnataka government has given a green signal for one nation, one uniform for the police force, which means all policemen across the country will have the same uniform. As per the Russian media, Vladimir Putin is likely to make a huge announcement on the war in Ukraine. Remember, this comes amid unending war and missile attacks, which continues to cripple Ukraine's economy. Now, Bihar Minister Surendra Prasad Yadav slammed Union Home Minister Amit Shah for his claim that the BJP is returning to power in the 24 Lok Sabha elections. The Rashtriya Janata Dal leader alleged that the Saffron Party attacks the army when elections come, and it seems like it is targeting some country this time.
सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
तो लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कोई बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा। सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
तो लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कोई बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा।
After Jagdanand Singh, who said Ram Janmabhoomi is Nafrat ki Zameen, and Chandrasekhar, minister, who said that Ramcharitmanas is a Nafrati Granth. Now, another controversial statement made by another RJD minister, Surendra Prasad Yadav, who says कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आर्मी पर हमला करवाती है और इस बार किसी देश पर हमला करवाएगी. This shows the mindset of the RJD, which wants to do राजनीति और राष्ट्रनीति. That in the haste of opposing one person, one party, goes to the extent of opposing the country, Hindus, and even the armed forces. This is the same RJD which said Pulwama was staged. It gave a clean sheet to Pakistan. This is the same RJD which said surgical strike is at home, tried to strike at the manobel of the armed forces. Their entire ecosystem constantly tries to attack the manobel of the armed forces. They say surgical strike is khoon ki dalali, Balakot airstrike, Chil Kauwe mare. They say that Pulwama was not done by Pakistan but was done by India. They say भारत की सेना की पिटाई हो गई. This is not a sayog, this is a prayog. And today, all limits have been crossed by dragging in the armed forces and trying to politicize national security and what the armed forces do and raising question marks on their valor. It is one thing to raise questions on the BJP or the BJP government, but why drag in the armed forces and question their integrity? This is only being done to do a strike on the manobel of the armed forces, and this is nothing new. The RJD sees innocent people in PFI and SIMI, but it raises questions on the integrity of the armed forces.
On the broadcast is Mr. Manjinder Singh Sirsa from the BJP. Mr. Sirsa, that remark that's come in from the leader in Bihar seems to suggest that there was some foul play. At least that's what he says. Do you think that perhaps, dragging in the army like this goes against national interest, and most opposition parties should try and desist from it?
एब्सोल्युटली राइट। मैं ये मानता हूँ ये गलत है। जिस तरीके से ये सुरेंद्र यादव ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे अटैक करते करते अचानक भारत की सेना के ऊपर अटैक किया, ये बहुत ही शर्मसार है, बिलो दी बेल्ट है। आप किस स्तर तक जाएंगे? आप भारतीय सेना के मनोबल को तोड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं, आप अपनी गंदी राजनीति के लिए सेना को बीच में लेकर आते हैं। एक तरफ आप देखिए पाकिस्तान का प्रधानमंत्री खुद वीडियो डालकर ये कह रहा है, भारतीय सेना का खौफ इतना है उसके मन में कि हमें कटोरा पकड़ के बांधने को मजबूर कर दिया। हम भारत के साथ शांति चाहते हैं, हम लड़ाई नहीं चाहते। ये हमारी सेना की ताकत है, ये आज भारत की सरकार की ताकत है, ये देश के प्रधानमंत्री की ताकत है। और दूसरी तरफ हमारे देश के अंदर ऐसे लोग हैं जो कहते हैं आर्मी पे अटैक करा देंगे, जो कहते हैं पुलवामा तो सरकार ने खुद कराया है। ऐसी घटिया मानसिकता रखने वाले लोग आज देश में से इसीलिए लुप्त होते जा रहे हैं, पार्टियां इसीलिए खत्म होती जा रही हैं और फिर ब्लेम बीजेपी को करते हैं, क्योंकि आपकी मानसिकता जो है बहुत गंदी है, आपकी राजनीति करने का तरीका बहुत गंदा है, जो किसी भी सूरत में देश को बर्दाश्त नहीं। और हम इसकी स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पॉसिबल वर्ड्स में कंडेम करते हैं ऐसी घटिया मानसिकता और घटिया सोच और घटिया अल्फाजों को।
Right, Mr. Sirsa, thank you for joining us. The BJP over there hitting out at the Bihar minister, saying that this is the mentality of the opposition since they can't win elections fair and square. Now, do remember that the Bihar minister Surendra Prasad Yadav had slammed the Union Home Minister Amit Shah for his claim that the BJP is returning to power in the 24 Lok Sabha elections. The RJD leader alleged that the Saffron Party attacks the army when elections come, and it seems like it's targeting some country this time. Of course, there has been a lot of opposition to this remark that's come in from the BJP on this. We have just heard senior BJP leaders talk about the fact that this is seen as a slander against the armed forces. Also, criticism coming in from other political parties.
सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
आपको लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है? कोई बड़ा कुछ
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा।
Now, the BRS in Telangana is all set to organize public meeting at Khammam. Interestingly, the meeting will be attended by the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, his Punjab counterpart Bhagwant Mann, the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav and the CPI's D. Raja. Here's more on what's expected.
From holding mega road show in the national capital of India to announcing its vision to bag 9 states in the upcoming assembly elections,
2023 हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी है। इस साल हमें 9 प्रदेशों में चुनाव को लड़ना है और अगले साल 24 में लोकसभा का चुनाव है। तो उन्होंने सारे राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी के सदस्यों का आह्वान किया कि कमर कसकर लग जाएं, हमें एक भी चुनाव नहीं हारना है। जो 9 विधानसभा के चुनाव होने वाले हैं उसमें एक में भी अपनी हार नहीं होनी चाहिए। इसलिए जहां हमारी सरकार है उसको मजबूत किया जाए और जहां हमारी सरकार नहीं है उसको और मजबूत किया जाए।
Undoubtedly, Prime Minister Modi has sounded the poll bugle for 2024 mega polls. Accepting it or not, but this has raised alarm bells among the opposition parties. As a result, Kejriwal, Akhilesh Yadav and other leaders will attend public meeting today in Telangana organized by BRS at Khammam town, the first ever meeting since it has gone national. Several programs have been lined up before the meeting. BRS President and Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and the visiting leaders would first go to the Lord Lakshmi Narasimha Swami Temple at Yadari near Hyderabad. About 200 kilometers from Hyderabad, they would attend the launch of the second phase of Kanti Velugu, the Telangana government's eye screening program, alleging that the spirit of the constitution, including secularism, socialism and liberty, is getting diluted under the present BJP-led NDA regime. Senior BRS leaders said that the party is trying to bring in alternative politics to the nation. And further, on being asked if the meeting can be seen as a step towards forming alliance ahead of election, leaders said it is not just formation of an oft-repeated front. Meanwhile, State BJP President and MP Bandi Sanjay called out BRS for turning temples into business centres. Taking a cue from the fact that the meeting is taking place just a day after BJP echoed that how confident it is of getting huge mandate in 2024 Lok Sabha polls, formed strong opposition alliance. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And still to come on Republic TV, India will be facing New Zealand in the first one-day international in the three-match one-day series in Hyderabad.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges. From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India, 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As an Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
Like election has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic Live from Melbourne. The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should...
And here's a quick recap of the top headlines we're tracking at 10:30 this morning. 3 northeastern states will be going to the polls. Assembly elections in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland soon. The Election Commission's news briefing takes place at 2:30 this afternoon. The Election Commission of India will be declaring dates for polling in the 3 states. The BRS is holding its first big rally as a national party, multiple opposition leaders to join in. The Aam Aadmi Party, the Samajwadi Party and the left will be attending KCR's rally. Is it an attempt for a third front ahead of 2024? Russian media says Vladimir Putin will be making a big announcement in the Ukrainian war. And India is set to face New Zealand in the first one-day international in the 3-match one-day series in Hyderabad. And the pictures that we are playing out for you, believe it or not, they have been accessed by Republic TV and they are from a jail in Ramnagar. These pictures are of a birthday celebration that took place inside the Ramnagar prison. An inmate and history sheeter Kiran's birthday party was organized by other inmates in room number 2 of the prison. Photos were posted on the social media. This, of course, has been accessed by Republic TV, leading to a huge amount of embarrassment for the police force over there. So pictures on your screen are of a birthday party that was organized at the Ramnagar prison. The party was of a history sheeter and an inmate who's currently housed at the Ramnagar prison. Kiran, his birthday was celebrated by other inmates, and as you can see, they seem to have flouted all norms that are there in these prisons. Let's go across to Prajwal, who's reporting on this from Bengaluru. Prajwal, good morning. Give us more details of how they were able to organize this birthday party. Obviously, a lot of rules were flouted, and what is the police department's reaction?
Nupur, so far the cops have kept mum on this incident, and we need the IGP of prisons of Karnataka to react on this, because we are seeing that rampant use of mobile phones inside the jail now. Now, birthday parties are also being organized along with meat and liquor, cutting of cakes with sports inside the jails, and these pictures are coming in from the Ramnagar jail out there. And this was, this particular birthday party was conducted in cell number 2. It was conducted in cell number 2 by fellow inmates, and there are also people, we get to understand, sources are pointing out to the fact that there were only a few inmates, but also other people from outside the jail have been let in, along with these convicts, to go on and conduct the birthday of this history sheeter. This particular history sheeter, Kiran, has many cases against him in the form of attempt to murder, dacoity, theft and burglary as well, and he's a hardened criminal, and he's been in jail for the past several months, is what sources are going on and stating. But now the jails, the security in the jails, and also about the technology is being questioned here. Why we say this, Nupur, is because of the fact that a call was made from inside the Hindalga jail. The cops have not been able to track the mobile phone, whether it was in the jail or whether it was made from the periphery of the compound as well. There have been jammers which has been installed in these jails, but none of these jammers work. They are all defunct, because anybody can, bypass these jammers and then can go on and make these threat calls as well. And this is exactly what we pointed out as well, when a threat call was also made to the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari from the Hindalga jail too. And now in the latest, this shows the reality of security in jails across Karnataka. This is not only happening in Hindalga jail, but now these latest visuals and pictures coming in from Ramnagar jail paints a different picture about the state of jails in Karnataka, where all these rowdies are being given facilities and they're also being allowed to carry out lavish birthday parties.
Right, absolutely. So as you're pointing out, of course, at the outset, it would appear that several rules have been flouted, including the one, that restricts prisoners from having mobile phones, inviting people from outside to their birthdays, as well as several others. Now, what's shocking, Prajwal, is that not just was the police unaware of what was happening. Maybe they were aware and decided to turn a blind eye. It's also extremely shocking that despite these pictures going viral, we still do not have a response coming in from them, or any sort of assurance, that action will be taken.
Absolutely, Nupur, because one of the major reasons that the cops were aware about this entire celebration is because of the fact that there has been a lot of time taken to go on and decorate the entire cell inside the jail, where it has been written, "Happy birthday, Kiran." It's been clearly written there on the floor using flowers. So imagine the time that has gone into the decoration and the resources that has been brought in from outside as well. And this couldn't have happened without the help of the authorities from inside. And whoever these officials are, they should be taken to task and they should be suspended here. Because one of the major reasons that such things keep happening and these criminals are not afraid of the punishment is because they are in cahoots. It is alleged that they are in cahoots with the jail authorities, and therefore they are being accorded every facility that they get on the outside, and therefore they are not afraid to commit crimes and go to these jails, Nupur.
Absolutely. Prajwal reporting on this from Bengaluru. Thank you very much for joining us with all those details. As Prajwal is pointing out, the police department is still to act against what happened or release a statement. Well, we're now learning that the movie Kashmir Files is likely to be re-released. The director Vivek Agnihotri has tweeted about the re-release of this film. We are given to understand that it will be hitting the big screens again, and the date for this is the 19th of January. I'm going to try and go across to Tanisha in the Delhi newsroom, who has more details on this. Tanisha, if you're there with us. Right, even as we are pointing out, of course, that the film Kashmir Files will be re-released. The movie, of course, is going to be released in cinemas again tomorrow. That's the 19th of January. We are told that the decision was taken so that people who haven't watched the film on the big screen get another opportunity to do so. Do remember that the Kashmir Files, which stars Mathyan Chakravarti, Anupam Kher, as well as Darshan Kumar and Pallavi Joshi, follows the plot of a Kashmiri Hindu college student who's raised by his exiled grandfather and shielded from the knowledge of the circumstances of his death. Now, the focus of this film largely has been the exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits from Kashmir in the 1990s. I think Tanisha is with us now in the newsroom. Tanisha, what's the reason behind the re-release that has been touted by the director?
Well, good morning to you, Nupur. Certainly one of the reasons could be that, how loved this movie is, how loved this movie is not only on national platforms but also internationally. Because remember, just few days back, it was shortlisted for the Oscars. Vivek Agnihotri, the filmmaker himself, made this announcement where it has been approved on the international screen, and making it to the Oscars is a big thing. Because remember, when a movie is selected for Oscars, it is not just for for the message that it has given. It is also been selected for the acting, the screenplay, the script, everything together. So being accepted internationally on an international forum and nationally, this is one of the reasons why the movie is releasing again on big screens on January 19th is what we are getting to know. It is also a big step by the filmmaker in this movie, because remember, there are only few movies, a handful of movies who have released back to back soon after it was first released on big screens. This time again on January 19 is what we know. It will be out on big screens, and people who have missed it to watch it on the first go could go and have a look at this movie again.
All right, Tanisha is bringing us those updates from our Delhi newsroom. Thank you very much for joining us. So as Tanisha is pointing out, the film makers have decided to re-release the film and it hits the theatres tomorrow. And here's the top international news stories. The head of the UN nuclear agency, Rafael Grossi, has visited two of Ukraine's nuclear power plants to oversee the establishment of permanent presence of inspectors at each one of them. The inspectors will oversee operations and ensure safety. The United Kingdom and the United States of America have reaffirmed their support for Ukraine in its struggle against the Russian invasion after talks at the State Department in Washington with the Foreign Secretary James Cleverly. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that they remain committed to backing Ukraine for as long as it takes. Residents of Dnipro still reeling under the Russian bombing of an apartment block that killed at least 45 people gathered at the site of the tragedy to demand better air defense systems to protect Ukraine's civilian population from the international community. The Pentagon has slammed Russia for targeting Ukrainian civilians after a deadly weekend strike on a multi-story building in Dnipro that killed dozens of people, including children, and injured dozens more. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that search operations and the dismantling of the debris over there has taken place. He has assured that Ukraine will find everyone who were party to this attack and they will not be spared. Brazil's President Lula has sacked 40 guards for the presidential residence riots. He further expressed distrust in the military. He said that the military failed to act against demonstrators that ransacked government buildings on the 8th of January. The Office of Brazil's Prosecutor General has presented its first charges against some of the thousands of people who reportedly stormed government buildings in an effort to overturn the former President Jair Bolsonaro's loss in the October elections. The World Economic Forum has said that billionaire Elon Musk wasn't on the guest list for the annual meeting of business executive global leaders and cultural trendsetters in Davos in Switzerland, despite the Twitter owner's claims that he was invited. Residents in Kabul have expressed their frustration over prolonged power cuts amid the freezing cold, adding to the miseries of the people in Afghanistan. The outages have resulted in leaving people with numerous challenges, a result of which they urge authorities to address the matter. Sri Lanka and the US are set to conduct a week-long joint military exercise starting Thursday to prepare for disaster relief and maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific amid China's increasing military maneuvering in the strategic region. The exercise will commence on the 19th, that's tomorrow, and will end on the 26th of January. And up next, we get you details of the 3 northeastern states that will be heading to assembly elections. And the BRS is to hold its first big rally as a national party. Multiple opposition leaders will be joining in.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO. European bath lounges.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari, Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
London has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They're only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic Live from Melbourne.
Now, yet another video of the Telangana BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's son Bandi Bhagirath has surfaced, where he was seen thrashing a student. Now, do remember that there has been a considerable amount of controversy around his son over his behavior. Pictures on your screen are of Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Bhagirath, where he seems to be thrashing a student. We're going to try and play out also a reaction that we got from the victim. All right, so pictures on your screen are of this incident that has been reported now. Do remember that there have been similar instances in the past that have been reported of the misbehavior of the BJP leader, Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Bhagirath. Of course, the opposition over there wants immediate action to be taken against Bandi Sanjay's son. We're also given to understand that a case has been registered and there has been action in terms of that. Now, pictures on your screen are of this video that has now gone viral of Bandi Bhagirath losing his cool. Let's go across to Aneri Shah. She has more details on what happened. Now, Aneri, this is of course not the first time that this sort of misbehavior has been reported from Bandi Sanjay's son, but give us more details in terms of what happened.
Well, Nupur, what we are seeing right now is a video of Telangana BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's son, who was seen thrashing and abusing another friend of his, another student of his, where he is studying. But also at the same time, now we also see that the police officials have now filed a case against Telangana BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's son under various sections, and also police officials say that this video is 2 months old, and because of some issue he had allegedly taken up this, he had allegedly trashed the boy, and also at the same time now what we are seeing is that there's a video bite of the victim which has come up, where he states that as he had misbehaved with another friend sister of Bhagirath, that is why Bhagirath tried and came and talked to him, and later the argument went on and heated up, and that is why Bhagirath had trashed this boy. But now we also see that this video is 2 months old. However, after after the is 2 months old. However, after the college authorities have filed a complaint at the police station, now we see that the police officials have booked a case against Bandi Sanjay's son, and further investigation has also been taken up by the police officials. But however, what we see is that there's a statement, there's a clarification which has come in from the Bandi Sanjay's team, where they are stating that this video is 2 months old and now it is being propagated, it is being wantedly being circulated, and however this issue has been settled long time back, but it is being wantedly and being circulated, and now we also see that this video has completely gone viral also on social media, where we also see that a lot of questions are being raised of how this incident wasn't reported, how this incident was not reported to the police, and why there was no case registered. But now the police officials say that there is a case which has been registered against Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Sai Bhagirath.
All right, Aneri Shah reporting on this. Thank you for joining us. Aneri is pointing out that the police have now registered a case and action is being taken. And the Election Commission of India will be briefing the media at 2:30 this afternoon. It's likely to declare dates for polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. And the Russian media says Vladimir Putin will be making a big announcement on the Ukrainian war.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As an Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
London has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic Live from Melbourne. The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learned its lesson.
And here's a look at the top sporting action this morning. Luis Suarez has scored a hat-trick at his debut for Grêmio in Brazil. The veteran Uruguayan striker scored 3 goals in the first half and helped Grêmio to beat São Luís 4-1 and clinched the Recopa Gaucha, a Super Cup tournament between the winner of Rio Grande do Sul State Championships and the State Cup champion. The West Indies have recalled an experienced trio of pacer Shannon Gabriel and left-arm spin duo Gudakesh Motti and Jamil Warrican in a 15-player squad for next month's 2-match test series against Zimbabwe. Aidan Markham's all-round performance provided the impetus for Sunrisers East Cape to open their SA20 account as they defeated MI Cape Town by 4 wickets. Not content with merely marking up the numbers, Rwanda's remarkable young women secured a maiden ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup win as they proved too strong for Zimbabwe at the Northwest University Oval. Zimbabwe's T20 World Cup star Sikandar Raza will return to international cricket for the upcoming one-day international series against Ireland. Australian Open fans were disappointed after their local favourite Nick Kyrgios was forced to withdraw from the tournament due to an injury before even taking to court. Spurs boss Antonio Conte has said that he accepts the criticism that comes his way, but he and the players are doing everything they can for the club and the fans.
India versus New Zealand, first match to take place today in Hyderabad. The one-day international cricket, a 3-match series will begin in Hyderabad today. All eyes on that, and we'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
London has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic Live from Melbourne. The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learned its lesson. We had 3 wars with India, 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari, Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the...
Good morning and thank you very much for staying with us. This is Live and Breaking. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We begin with a look at the headlines. 3 northeastern states will be going to polls. Assembly elections in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. The Election Commission is likely to announce the dates at a news briefing at 2:30 this afternoon. The BRS is holding its first big rally as a national party. Multiple opposition leaders will be joining in. The Aam Aadmi Party, the Samajwadi Party and the left will be attending KCR's rally. Is it another attempt for a third front ahead of 2024? Russian media says Vladimir Putin is likely to make a big announcement on the Ukrainian war. And India faced New Zealand in the first one-day international in the 3-match one-day series in Hyderabad. Karnataka's politics seems to have hit another new low. The leader of opposition in the Karnataka Legislative Council, B.K. Hariprasad, has equated turncoat MLAs to women who sell their bodies and asked, what do we call them, who have sold their everything to the BJP. This, of course, is another distasteful comment that's come in from the leader of opposition in Karnataka Legislative Council, B.K. Hariprasad. Let's listen in. All right, first of all, let's go across to Prajwal now. Prajwal, of course, politics in Karnataka was never really at an high, but this one's a new low.
Absolutely, Nupur, because these statements are distasteful. It is not only disrespecting the cabinet ministers, but that aside, the Congress is also disrespecting women here, and that is something which has not been taken lightly by the BJP, because now the BJP has hit out against the Congress and stated that yes, they have been launching schemes for the women, but if the Karnataka Congress does not respect or represent women, then there's absolutely no sort of there's absolutely no sort of sympathy that they will be gaining by this, and you are equating all these cabinet ministers to prostitutes, and these are unparliamentary language that is used by BK Hariprasad at a public convention which happened at Hospete in the Vijayanagar district yesterday, and this happened in the presence of the KPCC President DK Shivkumar as well as the leader of opposition in the assembly Siddaramaiah as well. And you can also look at it that he's being cheered by his party members too when he's gone on to make this particular statement here, Nupur, and the BJP has not taken kindly to it, and they too have gone on to lash out they too have lashed out at BK Hariprasad, saying that he should not have spoken in such a distasteful manner, mainly about women as well, because he's saying that helpless women will sell their bodies. So what is he exactly going on and speaking about here is something which needs to be questioned as well, and he is hit below the belt where there has been a lot of traction on social media too, slamming BK Hariprasad for the statements that has been made by him.
Absolutely, and it's an anti-women statement also if you look at it closely. Let's listen into that comment to get more sense of what he said.
ಕೆಲವು ಶಾಸಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾರಾಟ ತನ್ನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮೈಯನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾವುದೋ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೈಶ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಶಾಸಕರಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಕೆಲವು ಶಾಸಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾರಾಟ ತನ್ನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮೈಯನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾವುದೋ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೈಶ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಶಾಸಕರಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ.
All right, joining me on the phone line is Mr. S. Prakash from the BJP. Mr. Prakash, good morning. How do you see this comment that's coming in from BK Hariprasad? Of course, it's another new low in Karnataka's politics.
True face of Congress party spreading love and mohabbat to the people has been brazenly displayed by Mr. Hariprasad by using most lowest level language. Earlier, Mr. Siddaramaiah has compared the Chief Minister of Karnataka to Das. Now, the Congress upper house leader of the opposition compares the MLAs for prostitutes. This is the discourse the party is pursuing in Karnataka run up to the election. When they have ran out of the issues, now they have started abusing the leaders just to garner some cheap publicity.
Mr. Prakash, thank you for joining us. So, Mr. Prakash, of course, seems to think that this is just cheap publicity that BK Hariprasad is seeking. But, Prajwal, apart from the BJP, what are the other political reactions that we are getting to this comment?
The Congress has completely failed to comment on the issue, and they are tight-lipped because majority of the Congress leaders along with BK Hariprasad are on a tour of the entire state of Karnataka with the Praja Dwani Yatra, and the JDS meanwhile has again hit out at BK Hariprasad stating that it is a below-the-belt comment which has been made by him as well. So therefore, we will have to wait in for the Congress's reaction, because the BJP is stating that the Congress is selectively targeting BJP leaders here, but what about the leaders in their own party who speak in a derogatory manner about sitting cabinet ministers and also the women too? And this exposes the double standards, and all the Congress's schemes that has been introduced for the women in Karnataka are merely an eyewash, is what the BJP is going on to hit out at the Congress in Karnataka, Nupur.
All right, absolutely. As Prajwal is pointing out, questions being raised about essentially the level of political discourse as well, isn't it? Isn't it, Prajwal? But I'm going to come back to you on that one. Let's once again listen into his comments first.
ಕೆಲವು ಶಾಸಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾರಾಟ ತನ್ನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮೈಯನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾವುದೋ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೈಶ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಶಾಸಕರಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಕೆಲವು ಶಾಸಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾರಾಟ ತನ್ನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮೈಯನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾವುದೋ
Well, of course, that comment essentially marks the low-level political discourse that we are seeing in Karnataka. Now, staying with politics, in fact, we are getting news that the Election Commission is likely to announce poll dates for Nagaland, Tripura and Meghalaya. The Election Commission will be holding a briefing at 2:30 this afternoon where the announcement is expected. Do remember that in the three states in the Northeast, the 5-year term of these assemblies ends in March. Nagaland's ends on the 12th of March, Meghalaya's ends on the 15th of March and Tripura's ends on the 22nd of March respectively. So obviously poll dates likely to be announced soon. Now do remember that a series of meetings were held last week after a team headed by the Chief Election Commissioner, that's Rajiv Kumar, had visited the three Northeastern states. These meetings were held with political parties of the three states, civil officials and central security officials as well. So we are expecting the Election Commission to announce the schedule for Nagaland, Meghalaya and Tripura Assembly elections today. The poll panel has convened a press conference for 2:30 this afternoon. While Tripura is ruled by the BJP is part of a ruling coalition in Meghalaya and Nagaland. Now, in all these three states, the poll is likely to be dominated by core issues including the development of the region, connectivity to the Northeast. So essentially those are perhaps going to be the main issues for polling. And let's take a quick look at what else is making news this morning. The ruling BRS in Telangana is all set to organize a public rally at Khammam. The rally will be attended by top political leaders, Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Mann, Kerala's Chief Minister and the SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav. Bihar Minister Surendra Prasad Yadav has stoked a controversy hitting out at the BJP after Amit Shah's return to power in 2024 statement. He said the BJP will be wiped out. When elections come, the BJP attacks the army. This time it seems that the BJP will attack some country.
सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
आपको लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कोई बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा।
After Bihar Minister's controversial remark, the BJP has hit back, lashing out at the minister. The BJP questioned the law and order situation in Bihar. In a statement, the BJP has said that the mafia have a free pass in the state.
सुरेंद्र प्रसाद यादव who says कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आर्मी पर हमला करवाती है और इस बार किसी देश पर हमला करवाएगी. This shows the mindset of the RJD, which wants to do राजनीति और राष्ट्रनीति.
A case has been registered against the Telangana BJP President Bandi Sanjay Kumar's son for allegedly assaulting a student. The video of the assault has gone viral on the social media as an investigation is underway. Responding to the Congress leader Sachin Pilot's remark on Rajasthan paper leak case, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has said that his government's actions in the case are aimed at aspirants. Meanwhile, Gehlot has also refuted opposition allegations of his party leaders being involved in the matter. After months-long protest, the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has ordered the closure of a liquor factory in Firozpur. Bhagwant Mann ordered the immediate closure of the distillery and the ethanol plant. In a mega crackdown on terror in Punjab's Gurdaspur, the BSF troops recovered a consignment of Pakistani weapons dropped by drones. 4 pistols, 8 magazines and 47 rounds were seized. Karnataka government has given a green signal for one nation, one uniform for the police force, which means all policemen across the country will have the same uniform. As per the Russian media, Vladimir Putin is likely to make a huge announcement on the war with Ukraine. Remember, this comes amid unending war and missile attacks, which continue to cripple Ukraine's economy. Well, pictures on your screen are of a video that has gone viral. This is Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Bhagirath Sai, who can be seen in these visuals that have now gone viral. Now, this is another video that has surfaced of the state president of the BJP of Telangana, Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Sai Bhagirath, where he's seen thrashing a student. Now, the police say that action has been taken. However, the BJP has come out and said that this is an old video that has resurfaced and that this matter has been resolved. But obviously questions are being raised about the high-handedness of the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's son Bandi Sai Bhagirath, where he can in these pictures clearly be seen thrashing a student. Now, this is a video that essentially speaks about the open abuse of power that we see these high-handed politicians display. Aneri Shah reporting on this. Aneri, the police now say, of course, that action has been taken, but it does appear that at the moment that this incident had actually happened, that was about 2 months ago, if we were to believe the BJP side of the story, obviously, things were hushed up then.
Well, Nupur, what we are seeing right now is that the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's team has now come up with a statement where they have written that this incident had been reported 2 months back, and that time itself the issue was settled down. But also at the same time, in the clarification, what they have given is that Bandi Sanjay's son Sai Bhagirath had bashed his friend and had abused his friend after he had some abusive text to one of the girl students who happens to be the sister of his friend. And also later what we see that the matter was compromised is what they are being telling. And also at the same time we see that there is a statement which is coming from the victim who's Sairam, and he has also stated that a few days back he had Bhagirath's friend and had misbehaved with her and also texted her late night, and that is why Sai Bhagirath had asked him to come and speak to him about it. But later, as they happened to speak, we see that after this whole incident was come up, we see that now the police officials has registered a case under section 502, 341 and other relevant sections of the IPC. And also at the same time what we are seeing is that police officials say that they will be taking up the matter, they will investigate into the matter. This comes just after the college authorities have filed a complaint, but this is after the video went viral, not before, when the incident had taken place. Incident had taken place 2 months back is what they are being claiming, and now after the college authorities learned about this, they have now registered a case. And also at the same time the case has been registered under section 323, 341 and also 504 of the IPC, where we see that further now Bandi Sanjay's son will also be served notice and further investigation will be taken up into this matter. Well, we see that there's a clarification which is coming from Bandi Sanjay's team also, and also there's a statement which is coming from the victim who says that it was he was the one, he had misbehaved with a girl, and that is why whole of this scenario was seen. But now this video has gone viral on social media. Opposition parties have been raising questions on why there's no proper complaint being registered earlier, and now why after this video has gone viral, the college authorities have now filed a complaint in the police station, and further investigation has also been taken up by the police authorities.
All right, Aneri Shah reporting on this. Thank you very much for joining us. As Aneri is pointing out, of course, action has been taken after this video was leaked online. Now, the head of the International Monetary Fund has warned that letting global tensions fragment the world economy could cost trillions of dollars in lost growth.
The head of the International Monetary Fund is warning that letting global tensions fragment the worldwide economy could cost trillions in lost growth. Notably, IMF Managing Director Kristalina urged the assembled business and political leaders in Davos to wake up and preserve the global trade, even as they look to insulate their sources of supply from disruption.
The war is still going on, and as long as the war goes on, it has a damning impact on confidence. Consumer confidence, business confidence, especially in the neighborhood, and I'm sure Pekka will talk about it. Number two, cost of living crisis. Inflation that has been generated by multiple factors, but especially by the war, is hitting people, especially poor households, very dramatically. And interest rates are at a level we have not seen them in decades.
She further said that the pandemic and the war in Ukraine showed that some redundancy in where businesses source their parts and raw materials was needed.
An integrated global economy has served us all well. As a result of this integration, over the last 30 years, the world economy tripled. For emerging markets and developing economies,
remember, reorganizing supply chains in a way that doesn't restrict trade would reduce global growth by only 0.2% of global output. But if trade collapses, that could balloon to 7% of global economy over time, or $7 trillion, the size of the economies of Japan and Germany together.
So my appeal is to be very rational. Yes, we will not go back to the days when costs were the only consideration for where you allocate production and how supply chains work. COVID and the war told us security of supply requires some redundancy in supplies. In other words, there would be some cost. But if we are smart to keep that to the level where we make the economy, the world economy, more resilient and not drag the world into a place where we will be all poorer and we would be less secure.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Republic of Congo has some of the greatest mineral wealth in the world, but President Félix Antoine, also on the panel, said that violence and illegal mineral extraction in the eastern part of the country is scaring the investors. Agency report, Republic TV.
A US lawmaker has introduced a legislation in the US House of Representatives that seeks to terminate Pakistan's designation as a major non-NATO ally and require annual certification from the president with certain conditions for Islamabad to be given such a designation. Now, the bill has been introduced by Congressman Andy Biggs, who represents the 5th Congressional District of Arizona. Let's go across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, on the phone line. Abhishek, good morning. Abhishek, we are learning that this bill essentially asks for a certain for annual certification and also B, for certain conditions to be put in place for Islamabad to ever get a designation of being a major non-NATO ally of the US. It also does broadly reflect on people's sentiments there, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. Good morning there, Nupur. This is more like a private member's bill, like it happens in our case in Parliament. Those typically do not become law, but still reflect what is going on in the mind of the lawmakers. So this obviously shows or reflects what's going on in the capital in terms of sentiments about Pakistan. Pakistan was designated a major non-NATO ally, I believe, sometime immediately after the 9/11 terror attacks, and that was essentially aimed at making sure that the Pakistani state and the deep state particularly came in full support of American operations in Afghanistan. But subsequently, we have seen so many changes happening. So much water has flown down both the Potomac and Indus, and Pakistan double dealing, double stabbing, and cheating, everything, like Osama bin Laden being found in Hyderabad, everything. So in that sense, I think the frustration really led to the Americans, in fact, deciding that let's give Afghanistan back to the Taliban and leave. And now these sentiments getting reflected, that why even continue to have Pakistan as a major non-natural ally, because that comes with certain prerogatives, privileges, advantages to the ally country in terms of American defense purchases, assistance, aid, and agreements which bring in interoperability. For example, despite being an important strategic partner of the United States, we are a major non-NATO ally. We are more like a major defense partner. So in that sense, I think it's significant by way of reflecting the sentiment on Capitol about Pakistan, which is increasingly, of course, becoming a failed state.
Right, Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for that. So as Abhishek is pointing out, it does reflect the sentiment of lawmakers against Pakistan, which is known for harboring terrorism and using it as a matter of state policy.
Akhilesh Yadav, the Samajwadi Party chief, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, left leaders, and also the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is all set to take part in the first BRS public meeting, which is all set to take place in Khammam today. We'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European bath lounges.
The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India, 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
China. So they'll fall together.
Serious problems because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Very good morning and thank you for tuning in. You're watching the news at 11:30. I'm Suesha Sam. We get you all the top stories. This is live and breaking at 11:30. Let's begin with the headlines. 3 northeastern states to go into polls. Assembly elections in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. The Election Commission news briefing is all set to begin at 2:30 p.m. ECI is all set to declare dates of polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. BRS to hold its first big rally as national party. Multiple opposition leaders to join in. The Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party and Left are set to attend KCR's rally. Is it an attempt for the third front ahead of 2024? Russian media says Putin is all set to make a big announcement on the Ukraine war. And India to face New Zealand in first one-day international in 3-match ODI series in Hyderabad. We cut across to these latest details that are just coming in of a BSF Jawan who has been attacked while tracking Bangladeshi smugglers along the Bangladesh border in West Bengal. Now, according to BSF sources, 4 Bangladeshi smugglers were entering India illegally. BSF Jawans from Shikra outpost in Krishnanagar sector blocked the entry. Then the traffickers attacked them with sharp weapons. One BSF Jawan is seriously injured. His hand and head are injured. Soon after, the criminals fled. An FIR has also been lodged at the Chapra police station by the BSF. Cutting across to my colleague Kishle from Republic Bangla, who's joining us on the broadcast. Kishle, details first up on how the health of this BSF Jawan is, and as far as those traffickers who fled, what more do we know?
Well, exactly, Suesha. What we are getting to know, I'll just give you the details first. This Jawan, his name is Rana Pratap. He was serving in the 82nd Battalion in Chapra, and he was in the BSF camp. He was appointed there, and he was in the Krishnanagar sector. What happened was, I'll tell you the details of the events. What happened was, in the border area, when the smugglers were trying to come in, which they regularly attempt in these areas, they smuggle cows and different other things, cattle smugglers, etc. So these smugglers were trying to enter and smuggle a few things when the BSF stopped them. However, because of the BSF having a scattered, they were in a scattered way, where the BSF Jawans were not together in that particular place, and this Jawan was alone, we are told, in that particular area, and these smugglers attacked him with knives and other weapons, sharp weapons. He is in critical condition now, what we get to know, but he's slowly becoming more stable, and doctors are taking care of him, and he is relatively more stable than yesterday. That's what we are told. However, the police in that particular area, especially from the Chapra police station, they have lodged an FIR, and they are trying to understand that who are these smugglers, and whether they're from the other side, or they also have some connection with people of this side, with some smugglers or some goons of this side of the border or not. Also, they are trying to understand that all these areas where this incident has happened, whether this particular area needs more protection and more appointment and more jawans in that area or not. That is also one concern, and the administration is looking into it. However, what we are getting to know right now is that BSF is having some internal meetings, and they are trying to understand what changes can be done in that particular sector so that these events can be avoided in the future. Suesha.
Kishore, continue talking to us of how security has been beefed up around this entire belt now, and how the BSF is looking to track these traffickers. Are they repeat offenders? Have they tried to enter even in the past? Any details that they have found out about these men? They were in possession of sharp weapons. What more do we know?
Well, exactly, Suesha, that's a question, because what we have seen in earlier times as well, that in particularly this area, in the North 24 Parganas and Krishnanagar sector, Noida sector as well, there have been multiple attempts to smuggle cows and cattle and other illegal things such as intoxicants, etc. So this is one of the areas which are very active in terms of these smugglers being working from both the sides in smuggling. This area is very sensitive. Therefore, already the BSF has a lot of camps and recruitment in this particular area. There are a lot of jawans already, and BSF camps are also there. However, it's a question that how this particular jawan, who also, in a way, we are also getting to know that he was quite brave enough to fight them alone, and they had to flee on the other side of the border. They could not enter. He was particularly in that particular area, in that spot, he was alone. We are getting to know whether that jawan was alone and whether there were other jawans who were supposed to be with him, and what exactly is transpired in that area. What was the exact reason that these smugglers could attack him is what the police, Chapra police, is looking. But I can say this for sure, that that's a sensitive area, because constantly there are news of attempts to smuggle cattle and other intoxicants, other substances keep on coming to us from that area, from that particular sector as well. So that's one concern, that whether there needs to be more security in that area. BSF is already considering that and also talking to the administration and police in that particular area. Suesha.
All right, Kishore, keeping a very close eye on all these details, and we'll keep coming back to you for further updates. For the moment, thank you for joining us. And we now shift our focus to Bihar, where State Minister Surendra Prasad Yadav has slammed Union Home Minister Amit Shah for his claim that the Bharatiya Janata Party is returning to power in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The RJD leader has alleged that the Saffron Party, quote-unquote, attacks the army when elections come, and it seems like it is targeting some country this time, is the statement made. Listen into it, and after that, how the BJP has responded.
सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
आपको लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा, या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कुछ बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा। सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का, सुपड़ा साफ है बीजेपी का। मैं बीजेपी का चुनौती स्वीकार करता हूं, सुपड़ा साफ है।
आपको लगता है कि बड़ी आशंका भी है क्या कि कुछ बड़ा खेल होगा, या बीजेपी कुछ बड़ा कर सकती है, कुछ बड़ा कुछ?
बीजेपी में जब चुनाव आता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आर्मी पर हमला करता है, इस बार लगता है कि किसी कंट्री पर हमला करेगा।
After Jagdanand Singh, who said Ram Janmabhoomi is Nafrat ki Zameen, and Chandrasekhar, minister, who said that Ramcharitmanas is a Nafrati Granth. Now, another controversial statement made by another RJD minister, Surendra Prasad Yadav, who says कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आर्मी पर हमला करवाती है और इस बार किसी देश पर हमला करवाएगी. This shows the mindset of the RJD, which wants to do Rajniti or Rashtrniti. That in the haste of opposing one person, one party goes to the extent of opposing the country, Hindus and even the armed forces. This is the same RJD which said Pulwama was staged. It gave a clean sheet to Pakistan. This is the same RJD which said surgical strike is at home, tried to strike at the manobel of the armed forces. Their entire ecosystem constantly tries to attack the manobel of the armed forces. They say surgical strike is khoon ki dalali, Balakot airstrike, Chil Kauwe mare. They say that Pulwama was not done by Pakistan but was done by India. They say Bharat ki sena ki pitai ho gayi. This is not a sahyog, this is a prayog. And today, all limits have been crossed by dragging in the armed forces and trying to politicize national security and what the armed forces do and raising question marks on their valor. It is one thing to raise questions on the BJP or the BJP government, but why drag in the armed forces and question their integrity? This is only being done to do a strike on the manobel of the armed forces, and this is nothing new. The RJD sees innocent people in PFI and SIMI, but it raises questions on the integrity of the armed forces.
All right, so the BJP reacting very, very strongly to that statement that has been made by Bihar Minister Surendra Prasad Yadav against the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the statement made by Union Home Minister Amit Shah of how they will return to power in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Now, the BJP primarily saying that this statement is about politicizing national security, and it is an insecure RJD that is going on to attack the BJP in a way that is absolutely not acceptable. Prakash Singh is now with me on the broadcast. Prakash, well, we are bound to hear these kind of statements and a war of words ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, and this will really continue and only escalate. But there needs to be a certain decorum, there needs to be a certain line, and all parties must understand that when it is about the forces and it is about the country and national security, this cannot and should not be politicized. We saw how the BJP has responded to the RJD, but this statement by the minister, how is it being looked at on the ground?
Well, yes, you rightly pointed out, just as a matter of fact, just to gain political brownie points, you cannot make any statement in haste, and that too concerning the armed forces or country's internal security and issues related to cross-border terrorism. And we all know what happened in Pulwama was an evidence and a glaring example of cross-border terrorism, in which a lot of Jawans had lost their lives. But this Bihar minister was asked a different question regarding regarding the politics in Bihar that is unfolding, about a BJP MP's statement that what happened in Maharashtra would take place in Bihar as well. But he replied back in a different context that BJP will do the same, and BJP attacks the army as well as and when the election draws near, then the BJP government, the central government, would attack some country. So, in order to gain political brownie points, the country's internal security matters should not be compromised because they are not the government in power. And it puts India in a bad taste at the international forum, because this person concerned, Surendra Yadav, is also a minister in Bihar government, and he's been sworn in the name of the constitution, and he should not be doing all this. So it is unpardonable, because if you politicize the country's internal security matters, then it is unpardonable. The BJP has condemned this, and we'll wait a word from the JDU as well as the RJD leaders as to what they have to say on this. Back to you.
Absolutely, Prakash, and we keep a very close watch on how many more reactions will come in on this. For the moment, thank you for joining us.
राष्ट्रीय जनता दल ने स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि गठबंधन धर्म को लेकर के कोई भी अनुशासन अगर तोड़ता है, अपने बयानों से असहज स्थिति पार्टी के अंदर और गठबंधन के अंदर करता है, ऐसे लोगों पर कार्रवाई होगी। डिप्टी सीएम श्री तेजस्वी यादव जी ने स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी में प्रस्ताव पारित है कि किसी भी तरह का गठबंधन धर्म पर नेतृत्व पर बयान सिर्फ आदरणीय लालू प्रसाद जी और डिप्टी सीएम श्री तेजस्वी यादव जी ही अधिकृत हैं देने के लिए। लेकिन माननीय पूर्व मंत्री विधायक श्री सुधाकर सिंह जी लगातार अपने बयानों से पार्टी नेतृत्व की स्थिति असहज कर रहे थे, अनुशासन तोड़ रहे थे। अनुशासनहीनता किसी कीमत पर बर्दाश्त नहीं की जा सकती है। पार्टी में नेतृत्व ने निर्णय लिया, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय लालू प्रसाद जी के निर्देश पर राष्ट्रीय प्रधान महासचिव श्री अब्दुल बारी सिद्दीकी साहब ने कारण बताओ नोटिस जारी किया है और उनसे जवाब मांगा है। 15 दिनों के अंदर उनको जवाब देना है।
ये आरजेडी और जेडीयू का गठबंधन एक स्वार्थपूर्ण गठबंधन है, जो आरजेडी का गुंडाराज और नीतीश कुमार का प्रधानमंत्री का सपना देखना, वो अपने गुंडाराज को पूर्ण कर रहे हैं। उनका जो आदमी बिहार का चुनाव अपने दम पे नहीं जीत सकता, उसका प्रधानमंत्री का सपना देखना, ये दोनों कंट्रोवर्सी आपस में हो रही है। इसलिए इनका गठबंधन जो है परिपूर्ण जनता की सेवा करने के लिए नहीं है, अपने स्वार्थों की पूर्ति के लिए है। और जो स्वार्थों की आदमी पूर्ति करता है तब कहीं ना कहीं जो जन सेवा करनी चाहिए, जो काम करने चाहिए, जो सिद्धांतिक काम है, ये उनसे दूरियां बनाए हुए हैं। और ये मुझे लगता नहीं कि ज़्यादा दिन चल पाएगा। अभी कई जगह खुद आरजेडी के नेताओं ने खुद ही कहा है कि नीतीश पर भरोसा नहीं है। तो ये चीज़ें सब चल रही हैं। इस कारण से जो शराब पर पाबंदी लगाई गई थी, जिसके कारण जनता का जीवन सुधार होना चाहिए था, बल्कि उससे जनता मर रही है। और एक नहीं अनेकों विकास की धारा जो बहनी चाहिए थी, विकास की धारा में भी अवरोध पैदा हो रहा है, क्योंकि गुंडा राज का और जिसका जनाधार नहीं है उस व्यक्ति का समीकरण आपस में बैठना, ये मुझे लगता है कि वहाँ की बिहार की जनता के लिए दुखदायी है।
ये सब पेट पेटी पालने वाले लोग हैं। ये सब सुविधा भोगने के लिए जात पात के आधार पर यहाँ आए हैं। इसलिए ऐसा लगता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी नेशनलिस्ट पार्टी है। नेशन के लिए, देश के लिए और देश की सुरक्षा के लिए हमेशा मर मिटने पर तैयार रहती है। और इन लोगों के भाषा पर भी नियंत्रण नहीं है। ये लोग जनता के लिए कुछ कर नहीं सकते हैं, देश के लिए नहीं कर सकते हैं। ये अपने अपने परिवार पेट पेटी के पालने वाले लोग हैं। इसलिए तुच्छ विचार से तुच्छ दृष्टि रखते हैं, छोटा दृष्टि रखते हैं और छोटा विचार है।
All right, so you heard the BJP hitting back strongly at the Bihar minister's remark, and we continue to track all the responses very closely. For the moment, we move on, as Bandi Sanjay has issued a statement after his son's videos had gone viral. He stated, and I quote, "The incident took place 2 months ago at the university campus in Hyderabad. My son's batchmate harassed a girl by texting her. He fought with his batchmate after finding that the latter took the girl's number from his phone. The matter has been resolved." Bandi Sanjay's son, who is in the dock, and the incident that happened 2 months ago is what the father is claiming. I want to cut across to my colleague Aneri before we also put out a reaction. She's live with us on the broadcast. Aneri, detail for us the statement coming in from Bandi Sanjay.
Well, Suesha, what we have been seeing is that a video has gone viral of BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's son, where he has been seen trashing a student who is said to be a classmate of his. And this happened almost 2 months back is what the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay's team has been stating. And also at the same time, we see that after this was brought to the notice of the police officials by the college authorities, yesterday night there was a criminal case which was booked against Bandi Sanjay's son, Bandi Sahib Bhagirat. And also at the same time, now what we are seeing is that police officials state that further he will be served notice and also further investigation will be taken up. But now the point here is that the victim who was seen being beaten up by Bandi Sanjay's son, Sahib Bhagirat, where a video of his clarification has come up, where he says that he had apparently misbehaved with a a girl and he had texted her, and that is why this whole incident had taken up. And however, later this was this matter was completely neglected. It is what the opposition parties have been saying, because this was not taken up to the college authorities, nor it was reported to the police officials. But now, after the video has gone viral, we see that police officials have now booked a case against Sai Bhagirath, who is Bandi Sanjay's son, and also at the same time police officials say that further he will be served notice and further investigation will also be taken up into this matter.
All right, we wait and watch what comes out of the investigation and whether this statement really coincides with the kind of justification that is being given. But for the moment, we also have a response coming in from the TRS spokesperson. Let's listen to what's been said.
So whenever it has taken, if it has come into the notice of the institution and if they have taken some disciplinary action, I think everyone should go by that. So just because it's been done 30 days or a month above doesn't mean that he is free from the legal trial. And most importantly, BJP state president should set an example by at least asking his son, because it is Bharatiya Janata Party which always speaks about family politics. Then why is he using his political post as an abuse of power to shield his son? Because yesterday after that his press meet clearly shows that Bandi Sanjay is only defending his son. 2 videos have come up. We do not know if those are of 2 different victims of one victim, but the way he has been thrashed is absolutely proving the abuse of power of BJP state president, and that is why his son is behaving like that. And
now you say that it's they are trying to use political power, but however now the case has been registered, further he'll be also served notice. So what's there to do politics on this?
Well, Bharatiya Janata Party knows how to drag family members, drag children. Here definitely it is going on where legal trial or the institution will take an action. But how have you set a moral standard? You preach, Bharatiya Janata Party preaches to the nation, Bandi Sanjay preaches everyone daily, then you have to set an example. Instead of apologizing, instead of, teaching a lesson to your son.
All right, so the TR is still critical of the way Bandi Sanjay has been on the defensive over his son's behavior, but Bandi Sanjay putting out a completely different story as he says that his son is on the right side, but the investigation that continues. We're slipping into a very short commercial break. We'll take a quick check of the other big stories we tracked for you this afternoon. Election Commission news briefing is at 2:30 p.m. ECI to declare dates of polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Also, India to face New Zealand in first one-day international and 3-match ODI series in Hyderabad.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learned its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As an Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
Nagaland has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic live.
Has foiled the Pakistani bid for smuggling the weapons in the Indian territory, and this time this recovery has been made in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. And in fact, the BSF has recovered 4 made in China pistols along with 8 magazines and 47 rounds. And even according to the statement of BSF, they have spotted a drone on the intervening night of 17th and 18th January, and following which they have opened the fire. And in fact, in the morning after searching the area, they have recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunitions along with 4 pistols and 8 magazines and 47 rounds. And further, the search is going on to find out who are the ground workers of these consignments supposed to be collected by whom. And in fact, further investigation is on with the help of the local police. And even this time, this recovery was made in the Gurdaspur sector, where this drone has dropped the weapon consignment that was recovered by the BSF nearby the international border.
Akhilesh Yadav, the Samajwadi Party chief, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, left leaders, and also the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is all set to take part in the first BRS public meeting, which is all set to take place in Khammam today. We'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As an Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
Nagaland has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic Live from Melbourne. The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G?
And cutting across to these pictures coming in from Khammam, where the BRS is meeting with the other opposition leaders on your screens right now. KCR accompanied by leaders from Samajwadi Party, Aam Aadmi Party, Left, and all of them have come together as this is really being looked at on whether KCR is building a third front. This is the mega public rally, and I want to cut across to my colleague Aneri, who's outside the Lakshmi Narsimha temple in Khammam. Aneri, Arvind Kejriwal on the left and KCR right next to the opposition leaders. It is being looked at as an attempt to build a third front ahead of the 2024 polls. Are we really looking at that kind of strength coming in together?
Well, definitely, Suesh, a lot of questions in connection with this meeting which is going to take place here in Khammam. As we continue to report from Khammam, we are at the venue where we see that all the banners have now put up here in Khammam, and also before this public meeting, before the leaders arrive here for the public meeting, all the leaders including Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Mann, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijay and Akhilesh Yadav, and also D. Raja, who are right now at the Yadadri temple, the famous Yadadri temple here in Telangana. They had earlier met Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao in Hyderabad at Pragati Bhavan, and now we see that now they are performing puja at the Yadadri temple. And also this very meeting is the first meeting of the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti after Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao announced his national party. This is the very first meeting which is now taking place here in Khammam, trying to send out a big message ahead of the 2024 elections, and also at the same time, now the larger question remains is that are they coming up with a new front? But then where is Congress party in this? Where are other parties in this? And also, if there is an attempt to come up with a new front, then what would be the next strategy of this? Because this comes just a day after the BJP's national executive executive meeting which had taken place in the national capital, where they had come up with a strategy for 2024 election, strategy for the state assembly elections. Well, not to forget, Telangana will also be seeing polls at this year end, and that is why this very public meeting of Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, along with other leaders who have been coming in from various parties, let it be Arvind Kejriwal, Akhilesh Yadav or Pinarayi Vijayan. Well, a big message being trying to send out by the BRS party, and also at the same time now we also see that are they trying to come up, are they trying to stitch up a new front against the Bharatiya Janata Party, or what's their main aim will remain to be is a larger question, because we see that this is the very first public meeting. I would like my I'll try and show you how this place is as you can see here, that this area is all decked up, and also at the same time we see that right now all the arrangements have been put in place. At around 2:30 is the time when we are expecting all the leaders to come here to reach Khammam after they visit Yadadri. And also right now, as you can see in the visuals, all the leaders are here at Yadadri where they are performing puja, and also not to forget how there was politics also being done by the Bharatiya Janata Party, where BJP state president had raised questions on the KCR on Telangana Chief Minister, saying that Telangana Chief Minister or Kalvakuntla family is turning out temples into a business center, and that is why he's trying to showcase what he has done. But then also and also at the same time now a larger question is that this public meeting which is being held here in Hyderabad in Khammam, are they trying to form a new alliance, or what is in the making for ahead of the elections also is a larger question, because we have been seeing that next in coming days we will be seeing that there will be Karnataka state assembly elections, and in this year end we also see that Telangana will also be going to polls, and also now we see that this very public meeting which is being taking place is the first public meeting of the BRS after K. Chandrasekhar Rao changed and decided that they would come up with a national party, a new party where they aim to go national. Well, Telangana Chief Minister had also recently launched his new party office in the national capital, and now this public meeting which is going to take place here in some time from now, where Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Mann, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Akhilesh Yadav and also D. Raja from the CPI is also going to take part in this public meeting. So definitely larger question now is that are they planning to come up with a new front? What would be their new strategy, and is this a preparation for the 2024 polls?
Oh yes, but very clear message of putting out these pictures, and what the opposition leaders are certainly hinting at, and not just that, how the city of Khammam is shimmering in pink. All these opposition leaders and their welcome that has been planned with large cutouts of as you mentioned, Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Mann, Akhilesh Yadav, Chandrasekhar Rao, of course, welcoming these leaders, and it is sans the Congress. So that puts out a huge message of how they are looking at building a third front. We've seen how these attempts by Mamata Banerjee in the past didn't really lead to fruition, but the BJP certainly mocking this bonhomie, saying nothing is going to come out of it. So we will really know with time, Aneri, if they are able to build that front and who really will lead it, and if the other opposition leaders are in agreement. But for now, these pictures and the message they put out of how they're coming together with each other, and this is really ahead of the 2024 polls against the BJP. Aneri? All right, not too sure if Aneri can hear me at this point, but we stay with these pictures And the leaders who have gathered for this big public meeting of the BRF organized by Chandrasekhar Rao, as it is being attended by Chief Ministers Arvind Kejriwal, Pinarayi Vijayan, Bhagwant Mann, and also among these leaders is Akhilesh Yadav. So 3 parties that are a part of this big meet, and it is as of now being looked at as whether the opposition leaders are trying to build a third front. A lot of arrangements have been put into place, security has been tightened, and the city of Khammam shimmering in pink right now as they are at the Lakshmi Narsimha temple. Aneri, talk to us. I believe you're with us now. What's the plan from here on? Where are they headed? And are they also going to create a roadmap, a strategy for how they are now going to build a third front?
Well, Suesha, definitely larger questions and many questions will be answered today is what we are expecting, as Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and the BRS party chief is going to hold a mega public meeting here in Khammam, where we see that all the arrangements have been put in place, large number of banners across the city of Khammam, and also at the same time security being tightened here, because we see that many leaders including Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Mann, Punjab Chief Minister, and D. Raja, left leader like Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is also going to come here to take part in the public meeting, which is going to, and also not to forget, Suesha, this is the very first public meeting after Telangana Chief Minister and the BRS party chief had announced his national party, and they had decided to go national, because how there's a tussle which is going on between the BRS and the BJP from a long time. How Telangana Chief Minister and the leaders here in Telangana have been criticizing time and again. They have been criticizing the central government over various things, over various projects, and projects not being allotted to the Telangana state. And we also have been seeing how recently Telangana Chief Minister had inaugurated the party office, had inaugurated the BRS party office in the national capital with the aim to go national, where we had seen Akhilesh Yadav, Kumar Swamy also being there in that during that inauguration. But right now, as we continue to show you these pictures from the public meeting venue in Khammam, where preparations are all on, security has been tightened up here, and in some time from now at around 2:30 or 3 p.m. we are expecting that all the leaders will be on the one stage. But also now a larger question is that is this a preparation for the 2024 elections? Because we see that how K. Chandrasekhar Rao is going all out against the central government, against the Bharatiya Janata Party. But then larger question once again remains is that where is Congress party? And if there's a trying of making a new front, then will this front be without the Congress party? Remains to be seen, because now we also are seeing that how they are right now, all the leaders who came down to Hyderabad last night, right now they are at Yadadri temple, the famous Yadadri temple, and also in some time from now they will be heading towards Khammam here, and will be here at around 2:30 is what we are expecting, Suesha.
Oh yes, absolutely. But fact is, Aneri, that this holds a lot of political significance. Akhilesh Yadav wanting to go ahead without the Congress party. Is it an anti-Congress front? And will they be able to put up a strong force to fight the BJP? So a lot of those questions that really do stare when it comes to these opposition leaders coming with each other and putting out these pictures. What is the larger message? And the BJP certainly saying that this is not going to be a successful attempt. But how will these leaders now chalk out a strategy if it is really about fighting the BJP? And is there a plan in place? But very, very symbolic pictures in that sense. In 2023, as these are once again attempts of the opposition leaders coming together to take that opposition unity call. Mayawati has gone solo, and certainly a big setback to the Congress party of how they have not even been included.
Well, Suesha, when we talk about time and again trying to form an alliance or trying to come up with an alternate front, we have been seeing there are many such attempts being made, let it be from the Congress party end or let it be from Mayawati. But when we talk about this very thing which is happening right now here in Khammam, where we are seeing that a large number of banners are being put up, and also at the same time we see that there are leaders who are coming from various parties, Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party, then Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, left leader D. Raja also, who is going to take part here in this public meeting. But then also at the same time, as you rightly pointed out, there have been attempts to go solo by Mayawati also. But then now, as Bharatiya Janata Party have been pointing out, who will, if they are coming with or if there's an attempt to come up with a front, then who will lead this front? What would be the strategy, and how will it work out? What would be the plan of action of this alternate front? Because we also are seeing that how K. Chandrasekhar Rao has been taking on the Bharatiya Janata Party time and again at the central government over various projects, over various issues, and also at the same time now we are seeing that this attempt to make this public meeting a successful one. Well, they are expecting near about 5 lakh people to attend this public meeting here in Khammam, but also at the same time we see we'll have to wait and watch what kind of message they will be trying to send out, and what would be the exact vision of
Right. Krishna Sagar Rao, if you can hear me, how is the BJP looking at this BRS national meet, the presence of these opposition leaders and what they are attempting?
national executive meeting which was taking place in the national capital till yesterday, and now this public meeting. Well, now definitely larger question is that how will this front be working, what would be their strategy, and also at the same time will the Congress party be involved in this front? Will they be also coming together, joining hands with this front? Also, which other leaders will be involved? Because we also see that Kumaraswamy has already supported K. Chandrasekhar Rao time and again, let it be during the announcement of the BRS party, during the inauguration of the BRS party office in the national capital. And also at the same time, we see now Akhilesh Yadav coming together, Arvind Kejriwal. So basically all the opposition leaders who are there across the...
Right. Aneri, we also have more responses coming in. We have Krishna Sagar Rao from the BJP with us on the phone line. Krishna Sagar Rao, please firstly tell us your response as we stay with these pictures that are coming in from Khammam, and really what the opposition leaders are attempting. Can this be a successful front against the BJP ahead of the 2024 polls?
It cannot be, because what you see is a desperate political optics and a validation exercise by KCR for his newly formed BRS, and nothing more than that. Now, how many people are there in this front at this point of time validating it? Or just 3 parties? One is Communist Party, which is only in 1 state in the entire country. And then we have Aam Aadmi Party representatives in 2 chief ministers. Other than that, SP is almost an irrelevant party which has lost its ground in its own state. Now, I don't understand how it can be called a front. At the maximum, it can be called 3 fronts coming together. And where are the other big contenders? Mamata Banerjee, where are Shiv Sena, and where is Pawarji, and where are the other people from the central and north states? Where is Mr. Patnaik? So there is nothing happening there to unify a front against Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party. It cannot actually hold because everybody has their own micro agendas. Here, KCR's BRS doesn't have anything to do with the national agenda. He's having his first opening show at a weakest district which he possesses in the state. He's basically trying to get some traction locally. There is no larger agenda to change the nation, change the governance as he talks about. It is purely to win the state in this. We have in December an election, assembly election in the state, and he wishes to win back the third term. So he's turning the tables to just ensure that instead of he being asked questions by the voters that what you have done in the last 2 terms, he's trying to change the goalpost and ask Narendra Modi ji as to what you have done in the last 2 terms. So that is the ploy. Other than that, and I am very confident that the people of the state are very, very clear about replacing CM KCR and his party with Bharatiya Janata Party in Telangana state. So this ploy is not going to work. His decline is steady, and the way forward is only downwards.
And such attempts have been made in the past. Mamata Banerjee did try to lead the baton, and this time around we again see her missing. If this is really looked at as the building of a third front, like you're saying, many other opposition leaders who are missing, so it is weak in that sense. And then what is it really that they are attempting? How are they possibly going to build a strategy if they are? All right, we may have lost that phone line with Krishna Sagar Rao, but as far as the response of the BJP is extremely clear, where they say that it is not going to see any sort of success, and a lot of opposition leaders who are not willing to be a part of this. And I want to come back to you. I believe you're also getting us more voices from the ground in Khammam, where a lot of arrangements have been made for this public meet. But what is going to be the success rate is the big question.
Well, definitely it is going to be a question, a larger question, as we are also pointing out, that is this an attempt to form a new front to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party ahead of the 2024 elections, and also as the BJP leaders have been pointing out that this wouldn't work. Well, we have with us the TRS spokesperson Krishank Mane. Will try and get an answer from him. So Krishank, we also see that there are a lot of questions being raised from the BJP leaders, saying that this public meeting or this attempt to come or get all the leaders together would not work forward, and as you have been taking upon the central government time and again, how do you see and what would you want to respond to the BJP?
Aneri ji, people have to take us forward. It's not the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Congress Party. They have put people behind. They have put people backwards because they have never raised people's issues. You see this platform, ये मंच जो है, किसान के बारे में, खेती के बारे में, युवा के बारे में, बेरोजगारी के बारे में, पानी के बारे में, ऊर्जा के बारे में, about these issues we are going to raise. This is going to be the agenda. It's not, see, many people have heard friends, alliances. That is what Bharatiya Janata Party came as NDA, Congress has come as UPA. But has this served the purpose of people? So what this consortium of like-minded, Khammam is going to be historic because 4 chief ministers and 1 opposition leader. KCR ji was heckled, insulted by Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress leaders that he was alone, that there are no takers for KCR ji. But here you see people of different parties, leaders of different governments are coming and standing by him, because what India needs is a challenger. And those challengers will be found in Khammam. It's not a race for Prime Minister or any kursi. There's 2024 elections after 1.5 years. But this 1.5 year, this platform and many more to join will focus only and only on people's issues.
As you are saying that we still have time for 2024. So do we say that this is a preparation for 2024? Because time and again, Telangana Chief Minister has been criticizing the central government over various issues. And if not, then is this an attempt to form a new front or an alternate front for the Bharatiya Janata Party? Then where is Congress Party? Will you be taking Congress Party also in this?
See, again I repeat the same thing. It's not a front or an alliance. It's a new thought process, new alternative ideology. Congress has failed. Absolutely, Congress has failed.
Will you take Congress party along with you if this is going to work out? For
See, Congress has failed itself should explain that, we are not vying for Congress or Bharatiya Janata Party. Our issue is not absolutely limited only to the politics around the merry-go-round chair of Bharatiya Janata Party or Congress. There are people's issues. People have sent us, they've given us power to assemblies or to parliament because we have to represent those issues. But what is happening? It's only between two individuals of Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress that parliament, the entire issue of nation is being stuck. No, please talk about agriculture. Please talk about those promises you've given to farmers, to the poor, to the youth of this nation. These issues are going to be raised from this platform, and this is just the beginning. We will spread across different states.
As you say, this is just the beginning. But then I would like to ask you one more question, that in the coming days, will there be other leaders, like as right now we see Aam Aadmi Party leader and the Delhi Chief Minister, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav also taking part. So will there be other leaders, other opposition leaders to be more specific? Will you be calling them also, let it be Mamta Banerjee or any other leaders, Mehbooba Mufti or such leaders coming together with you?
See, one thing, when people decide, when people's agenda is on the foreground, definitely everyone will be united. The thought process, the agenda will bring us together. So please do not name us ruling or opposition parties. No, this is not about ruling or opposition parties. This is a new thought where India has to focus about, where the people of this nation has to focus about, and we will only be issue-centric. And with this issue, in the parliament, many parties have come together. Outside the parliament, in such kind of platforms, definitely there are much more people across the nation who are ready to want to come join this consortium.
So, Suesha, as you have been listening to the version of the TRS, they have been saying that definitely this would work out, they would work for the people, and definitely they will try and give a bigger message, a larger message with this public meeting, the first public meeting of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, which is happening here in Khammam today, where we are seeing that leaders from various parties like Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav, Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal and the Delhi Chief Minister, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Mann is also going to take part in this public meeting. So definitely the version of the TRS, as you have been listening to them, they say that if it is so, all the leaders across the country would come together to work for the people, is what they say. But then they also, at the same time, as you heard him, he says that this is not a race for 2024. But then what's the hurry is a larger question once again. That what's the hurry if they do not have an aim for 2024? Then what is the next strategy what they are planning to come up with? Because time and again, this is not the first time where Telangana Chief Minister has been criticizing on various occasions, on various issues. Telangana Chief Minister has been hitting out at the central government of the BJP there.
Absolutely, Aniri, and we are really putting out the larger picture on our screens right now, because we've seen how the BJP is fully prepared, not just for 2024, but JP Nadda is saying that not a single election can be lost in 2023, 9 state elections that are lined up. And the BJP preparing in full force. Even during the National Executive Meet, we saw the pomp and pageantry and the large-scale preparation that was really in place. But on the other hand, what do these pictures coming in from Khammam indicate? And is it symbolic to a third front is really the big question. Is it sans the Congress party? And who all are the opposition leaders? Because that, like the word coming in from KCR's side, that more opposition leaders are set to join in the days to come. For the moment, they are obviously touting it as only focusing on welfare and development issues and people's issues, and that is why these leaders have come together. But then again, is it really to see that there can be a strong, formidable force with a strong leader and a face that the united opposition may have to pitch against Narendra Modi ahead of the 2024 poll? So, which is why this particular event becomes very, very important to really see if it just floats in the days to come or picks up strong ground, becomes concrete, and there are larger plans that the leaders may really have, which they will action in the time to come. Aneri, for the moment, I really want you to talk to us over what is happening. But I believe we'll come back to you in a short while from now. We have some breaking news coming in. Let's quickly flash that out for our viewers. And in the face-off that has been continuing between the governor and the Stalin government in Tamil Nadu, where there is a statement now that has been issued by the Tamil Nadu governor. Let's listen it. Yes, the statement that has been put out by the Tamil Nadu governor, quoting that a name of state and a change in that wasn't suggested. The statement that reads, and I quote, in an event at the Raj Bhavan on the 4th of January 2023 to facilitate the volunteers of Kashi Tamil Sangamam, a recently concluded North-long festival celebrating the age-old cultural connect of Tamil people with Kashi while dwelling upon the historical cultural connect between the two. I refer to the word Tamizagam in those days where there was no Tamil Nadu. Hence, in historical cultural context, I refer to the word as a more appropriate expression and interpretation or inference that it was a suggestion to change the name of Tamil Nadu is erroneous and far-fetched. Without understanding the basis of my speech, arguments that the governor is against the word Tamil Nadu have become a topic of discussion. Hence, I'm giving this clarification to put an end to it. That's the very statement from the Tamil Nadu governor on your screens, where R.N. Ravi has cleared the air, saying that there was never a suggestion in the first place to change the name of the state. Tamizagam is just a more appropriate expression, and to come down to the conclusion that a name change was suggested is absolutely erroneous. We've seen the kind of face-off between the Tamil Nadu government and the governor over this very issue. And Varshini is now joining us live on the broadcast as we stay with this statement. So Varshini, would this really settle the argument now, with the Tamil Nadu governor clearing the air that there was never an attempt to call for a name change, and this was just an appropriate expression at that very platform, but to come down to the conclusion that a name change was is absolutely erroneous?
So, Vaisha, if you see this now that this, the governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, has issued his statement regarding this ongoing row in Tamil Nadu regarding his remarks, has definitely cleared some of the air regarding the tussle between the governor and the government that has been ongoing for a while now. Therefore, it's not just this particular issue that these parties in the state, including the ruling government, is being taking up every now and then regarding the protest that's happening, or be it the assembly sessions that took place. It's not just about this particular instance, but this is one of the many incidents that they have been quoting about the governor. This particular speech in a recent event by the Tamil Nadu governor was about how Tamilagam could be the appropriate name rather than Tamil Nadu. Definitely created a stir in the state, and but also about his remarks about the Dravidian parties rule for the past 50 years, and also the recent showdown in the Tamil Nadu State Assembly, particularly where he omitted major parts of the speech that was given to him by the Tamil Nadu state government. Therefore, this speech part that he omitted included the names of the important leaders of the state of Tamil Nadu, and more importantly, he also omitted words such as Dravidian model, social equality, social justice. Therefore, that is the burning issue right now. Therefore, this statement clarifying his speech about the Tamilagam and Tamil Nadu would not entirely put down the issue or the fire that's been burning between the Raj Bhavan and the Tamil Nadu state government. But this could be one step ahead by the governor to make sure that the peace is being restored in the state rather than the issue growing even more. So for now, this one issue could be taken as it has been resolved by the governor, but the remaining issues, particularly what happened in the Tamil Nadu State Assembly, is not yet down, and the left parties, particularly the DMK government and its alliance parties, are definitely agitated with the kind of showdown that took place in the State Assembly session earlier this month.
Oh yes, and we've seen the furor over it, but as far as the position of the Tamil Nadu governor is concerned, he ends the statement for that reason, saying that I'm giving this clarification to put an end to it, and a very strong use of words where he says that an interpretation or inference that it was a suggestion to change the name of Tamil Nadu is erroneous and far-fetched. Without understanding the basis of my speech, arguments that the governor is against the word Tamil Nadu, quote-unquote, have become a topic of discussion. So it cannot get clearer than this, Varshini. Now really, reaction from the Stalin government in the due course of the day, and to understand if this will finally settle the fire that has been ongoing.
Well, absolutely, yes. This could, be an initial step of settling down the fire that is ongoing between these two. And it is more importantly seen as, a reaction from the governor that has been long awaited, because there has been a lot of issues that the government and the alliance parties have been raising in the due course of time in the 20 months of the DMK government. And they've also been speaking on various issues, not just this particular incident, but this one clarification that the DMK government or any other parties who've been protesting have never got from the governor before. But now for this particular issue that they've gotten a response.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you here, but we are cutting across to more breaking news coming in. It is a big controversy in the Delhi Assembly where Aam Aadmi Party MLA waved a bundle of cash. He alleged that the amount was offered to him as a token amount by a contractor. He's also alleged that despite him asking for an investigation, not much has been done on that front. He said that I've written to the Chief Minister and the LG regarding the matter. I've also written to the DCP to provide more security to him, and none of the letters were answered. Hence, I seek help from the Assembly. I even went up to the ACB chief, but he ducked by saying that he isn't a government worker. I've raised my voice for the people and not the politics. So he flashed a bundle of cash in the Delhi Assembly, and he has alleged that the amount was offered to him as a token amount by one of the contractors, and he has been seeking an investigation and action in the same, but there has been no hearing on that front.
स्पीकर ने कहा कि क्या केंद्र सरकार ने कोई मदद उपलब्ध कराई है, उसका सबूत दो। भारत सरकार ने या मोदी जी की सरकार ने 2419 करोड़ रुपया दिल्ली सरकार को यमुना सफाई के लिए दिए हैं। हमने वह पत्र ऑनरेबल स्पीकर को दे दिया है, और ऑनरेबल स्पीकर ने यमुना, क्योंकि दुनिया की सबसे ज्यादा प्रदूषित और जहरीली नदी बन गई है,
नियम पे विधायकों को मार्शल आउट किया गया। अध्यक्ष ने कहा कि बोतल में अगर तेजाब में,
अरे भैया, यमुना के पानी में तो दिल्ली सरकार की रिपोर्ट कह रही है कि यमुना में तेजाबी पानी है। यमुना कह रही है नाले का पानी उसमें तेजाब है, उसको लोगों को पीने के लिए नहीं दिया जा सकता। ये तो रिपोर्ट कह रही है उसमें तेजाब है। ये क्या कोई नई बात है? इनकी अपनी डीपीसीसी ने कहा है कि यमुना में जो पानी है वो तेजाबी है, तो स्पीकर क्या नई बात कह रहे हैं? ये तो रिपोर्ट कह रही है इनकी।
All right, so that was a live reaction that had just come in, but this is in connection with the Aam Aadmi Party MLA flashing a bundle of notes in the Assembly, where he said that this amount was allegedly offered to him as a token amount by a contractor, and he has been seeking an investigation into this matter, but no action has been taken. In this connection, he's written to the Delhi Chief Minister, he's written to the LG, he's also written to the DCP, asking him to provide more security, but no call has been heard until now. Anuj is with me on the phone line. Anuj, give us the inside story of the claims this AAP MLA is making, and whether this is really an attempt to gather more attention, or who is he blaming in this?
Well, at this point in time, the information what we are getting from the assembly is this is the Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mohinder Goyal who has shown the bundle of cash in the assembly. What has happened, and the claim which has been made by him is that the amount was offered as a token money by a contractor to him to not raise his voice for the people. That is something what he is saying. I demanded for an investigation, but no action was taken. He is also saying the same. And he also claims, let me tell you, that I have written to the CM LG regarding this matter. I have also written to the DCP for providing me more security when none of my letters were answered. Hence, I seek help from the assembly. I even went up to the ACB chief, but he ducked by saying he isn't a government worker. I have raised my voice for the people and not the politics. That's something what this Aam Aadmi Party MLA is claiming. The name is Mohinder Goyal, let me tell you again. And he shows the bundle of cash inside the assembly. We are just trying to get the information, what exactly he is trying to say, who is exactly the contractor he is trying to blame, and what exactly the inside detail of the story is. But at this point in time, this is the shocking visuals which is coming in from inside the assembly. We are waiting for Aam Aadmi Party also to respond on the same, because this is none other but the government of Aam Aadmi Party themselves who are ruling the state. That's something what we are seeing at this point in time. We are just waiting for the more update that what exactly would have happened, who exactly this particular contractor is. Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely. But really awaiting further details, like you said, Anuj, on what the inside story is. Certainly, he brought this up in the Delhi Assembly and waved a bundle of cash. And now an investigation could be carried out in this matter. But he said that all calls of his went unheard, despite him having written to the Chief Minister, to the LG, to the DCP in this connection. But his voice was not heard, so he deemed fit to ask for help in the Delhi Assembly. A very dramatic move by the Aam Aadmi Party MLA, and what exactly he's trying to hint at this, and whether it is really an independent position that he's trying to show in the Assembly. But why is it that no one in the party paid attention to it, took note of it, are all the questions now waiting to be answered. But Anuj, continue talking to us. Republic has been able to access these pictures, and then again now, indeed after this, an investigation certainly will be conducted in this. But what is the Aam Aadmi Party?
तो एडहॉक अपॉइंटमेंट होता है, उस पे वो क्वेश्चन उठा रहे थे, तो स्पीकर साहब उनको कह रहे थे बैठिए बैठिए, अब नहीं सुनूंगा। बहुत ही दुखदाई है। मैं आपके माध्यम से कहना चाहता हूं कि सरकार सद्बुद्धि ले। जिस तरह से सिविल डिफेंस के नियुक्ति में घोटाला कर रहे हैं, जिस तरह से आंगनबाड़ी के कर्मचारियों की नियुक्ति में घोटाला कर रहे हैं, जिस तरह से होम गार्ड के नियुक्ति में घोटाला कर रहे हैं, जिस तरह से डीटीसी बस में अपने कार्यकर्ताओं को महिला डिफेंस के लिए घोटाला कर रहे हैं, जिस तरह से वो ऑन ऑफ पे अपने कार्यकर्ताओं की ड्यूटी पैसे लेके लगा रहे हैं, उस पे सरकार की कलई उनके विधायक ने खोला है और इस पे कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। हम भी उनके साथ हैं।
समझ में नहीं आता है, वो भी कह रहे हैं कि हम भ्रष्टाचार उजागर कर रहे हैं, आप भी कह रहे हैं कि भ्रष्टाचार।
All right, Anuj, I want to come to you to understand the inside details. Is this also an allegation of corruption within the MCD? Which contractor is he typically mentioning? And before I take that answer from you, Manjinder Singh Sirsa is with us on the phone line. Sirsa Sahab, your reaction to this very dramatic move in the Delhi Assembly, and how the Aam Aadmi Party MLA is complaining that his calls went unheard when he claimed that he was bribed, but no one within the party or the LG or the police had listened to him or conducted an investigation.
इससे बड़ी ड्रामेबाजी और नौटंकी क्या हो सकती है कि महेंद्र गोयल खुद पैसे लिए घूम रहे हैं। अभी तुम्हें जब रिश्वत देने आया तब पकड़ाना था, कौन देने आया, क्यों पैसे दिए? ऐसी देश में कभी दुनिया में किसी की मजबूरी देखी है कि तुम रिश्वत के पैसे ले लो? रिश्वत देने वाले के बारे में ना बताओ, रिश्वत देने वाले को ना पकड़वाओ मौके पर, और फिर कहो पैसे लिए घूमो, को मुझे पैसे दे गया, मुझे देखो पैसे दे गया, मुझे पैसे देकर चला गया। ये तो बहुत बड़ी नौटंकी ड्रामेबाजी। अब क्या है जो मैं एंटिसिपेट कर रहा हूँ, पैसे ले लिए हैं, काम करवाया नहीं गया, अब वो पीछे दौड़ रहे होंगे, वो मुकदमा दर्ज हो ना जाए, पकड़े ना जाए, रिश्वत लेते ना पकड़े जाएं। अब ये नौटंकीबाजी ड्रामेशेबाजी शुरू कर दी। ये केजरीवाल की पार्टी की सिर्फ चेहरा है, सामने सच्चाई आपके सामने है। आप बताइए, आपने आज से पहले ऐसा कब नौटंकी देखी कि पैसे देकर कौन आदमी गया है उसके बारे में पता नहीं? तुमने पैसे लिए क्यों? तुम तो ईमानदार आदमी हो, तुम्हारे घर में रिश्वत के पैसे आ गए और फिर तुम नोट विधानसभा में लेके आए। किसकी जरूरत हो कि वो किसी के घर में पैसे दे जाए और उसको तुम पकड़वाओ भी ना और पैसे लिए विधानसभा में घूमो? तो ये सब नौटंकी कर रहे हैं, पकड़े जाने का डर है, काम कराया नहीं, पैसे ले लिए, किसी से रिश्वत ली, अब डर रहे हैं कि रिश्वत के पकड़े जाएंगे और ये विधानसभा में आकर इसलिए नौटंकी कर रहे हैं।
All right, Manjinder Singh Sirsa, many thanks for speaking to Republic this afternoon. Sardar RP Singh also with us on the phone line. Your reaction to what has happened in the Delhi Assembly, a mere attention-seeking gimmick, or do you think there's more to this and the top leadership is aware? Because this man is alleging corruption, but is there corruption within the party? What do you make of it?
First, the Speaker of the House should immediately order for taking action against all such MLAs or all such ministers who are creating ruckus and doing all this gimmickry in the House, because they are not entitled to show cash in the House or take cash in the House. One. Secondly, this is all mimicry. This is all gimmickry, and they are doing it only because they want to divert people's attention from the core issue that Delhi is the most polluted city and Delhi is suffering from pollution. Delhi is suffering from basic essentials like health services. Delhi is suffering from the basic of education. So Delhi is suffering from the transportation. So whenever leaders in the House try to speak on such subjects, to divert the people's attention, they do this gimmickry in the House.
All right, Sardar RP Singh there giving us details of how the BJP is looking at this action in the Delhi Assembly, and the Aam Aadmi Party MLA waving a bunch of notes as he alleges corruption by a contractor. But the BJP now claiming that action must be taken against this Aam Aadmi Party MLA for he has taken bribe. And how exactly was this allowed in the Delhi Assembly? We'll continue to put out more reactions on this, but those are the first pictures on Republic of what had happened in the Delhi Assembly.
एक वो अमाउंट जो टोकन मनी के तौर के ऊपर उन्होंने मुझे दी थी, जिसके अंदर मैंने लिखा हुआ है कि ये रिश्वत का पैसा ये लोग मुझे दे रहे हैं और मैं रंगे हाथों इन आदमियों को पकड़वाना चाहता हूं, लेकिन कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की। ये वो पैसे हैं, वो बंडल है जो सुरक्षित है। मैं विपक्ष के साथियों से भी कह रहा हूं, इस काम का राजनीति करना हो। मैं अपने साथियों से भी कह रहा हूं, सत्ता पक्ष के जितने भी साथी हैं, इस बात का राजनीति करना हो। ये मैं मुद्दा जो उठा रहा हूं, ये जनता का मुद्दा उठा रहा हूं। जनता की आवाज इस सदन के अंदर उठाने के लिए सभी मेंबर्स आते हैं। ये पैसे, ये वो रिश्वत के पैसे हैं जो टोकन मनी के ऊपर मुझे दिए गए। किस चीज की? ये कि आप ये आवाज मत उठाओ, हमें ये पैसा लेने दो। इस मामले में मैं एलजी साहब से भी मिला हूं, एलजी साहब को भी पत्र लिखा है, मैंने सीएस साहब को भी लिखा है, मैंने हर दरवाजे के ऊपर मिला हूं। अपनी जान जोखिम के अंदर डालकर मैं ये काम कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि वो इतने दबंग व्यक्ति हैं कि मेरे साथ भी वो कुछ कर सकते हैं। मैं विपक्ष के भी सभी साथियों से यह हाथ जोड़ के आग्रह कर रहा हूं, इसका राजनीतिकरण नहीं होना चाहिए। सत्ता पक्ष के साथियों से मैं बार बार एक ही रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूं, इसका राजनीतिकरण नहीं, ये दिल्ली के जनता के हितों के लिए मैं आवाज उठा रहा हूं। इस सदन के अंदर जितने भी आदमी आते हैं वो सभी जनता के हितों के लिए आते हैं। मुझे पता है मेरे साथ में वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। मैंने डीसीपी साहब को पत्र लिखा कि मुझे सुरक्षा की जरूरत है। मेरे आगे पीछे इस प्रकार के दबंग घूम रहे हैं, मुझे धमकी देते हैं, लेकिन मुझे सुरक्षा प्रदान नहीं की गई। लेकिन कोई बात नहीं है, मैं ऐसे सदन का साथी हूं जिसके अंदर महात्मा गांधी जी बैठे हैं, विठल भाई पटेल जी बैठे हैं और बड़े बड़े नेता बैठे हैं। यहां पर हम जनता के द्वारा चुन के आए हैं। आज ये जनता की आवाज मैं आपके ये समक्ष उठा रहा हूं। इसको आप किसी भी कमेटी को रेफर करें या कोई भी आप इसकी निष्पक्ष जांच करवाए। ये खाली ये नहीं है कि बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर हॉस्पिटल के अंदर है। मैंने उनका स्टिंग करवाने की कोशिश की थी, मैंने एक आदमी की भी ड्यूटी लगाई थी। मुझे पता है कहीं पे धोखा हुआ है, लेकिन जनता का चुना हुआ नुमाइंदा, जनता के आवाज के लिए मुझे चाहे कुर्बानी भी देनी पड़ेगी, मैं वो भी देने के लिए तैयार हूं। और इस समय में जो ये काम चल रहा है, बहुत घटिया स्तरों के ऊपर ये काम चल रहा है। मैं इस मामले के अंदर यह भी चाहूंगा, मैं नेता विपक्ष के भी मुंह से एक बात सुनना चाहूंगा। मैं डीसीपी साहब पहले प्रणव तायल जी थे, अब दूसरे डीसीपी साहब चेंज होते आ गए हैं। इस मामले के अंदर एक नहीं,
महेंद्र जी अब मेरी बात सुन लीजिए प्लीज।
हाँ जी,
ये सारा मैटर आप लिख करके लेटर पैड पे मुझे दीजिए, मैं इसको पेटिशन कमेटी को रेफर कर रहा हूँ। जो जो लेटर आपने एलजी को लिखे, जो भी लेटर आपने कमिश्नर को लिखा, विद ठेकेदार के नाम, किस डेट में वो ठेकेदार अपॉइंट हुआ, वो सारा मुझे लिख के भेज दीजिए।
सर मैं कल भी एसीबी के अंदर गया, मैं बता रहा हूं आपको। महाजन साहब प्लीज, मैं राजनीतिकरण नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं
All right, so massive allegations been made by this Aam Aadmi Party MLA in the Delhi Assembly, and that has drawn a lot of attention as he seeks an investigation, but the BJP also looks at it as a gimmick and something that the top leadership must look into. We'll continue to track the story very closely. For the moment, we slip into a short commercial break. Also, a quick check of the other big stories we are tracking for you this afternoon, as the Election Commission news briefing will be held at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon, where the ECI is set to declare dates of polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Also, Aam Aadmi Party SPN left attending KCR's rally. A big question being if it's an attempt for a third front ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
When the first temple was targeted, Republic was live at the location.
Nagaland has been very peaceful, but these Khalistani groups have been really taking out rallies in large number, mobilizing people in large number for referendum. They have been saying that the Indian government should really allow referendum in Punjab.
When the second temple was desecrated, Republic was live at the location.
These people don't have guts to go to the Australian Parliament and do something similar to this there. They are only attacking Hindus' temple because they know that Hindus are always taken for granted.
Republic live from Melbourne. The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly For example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism.
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegations are now being found out with the photos and videos leaked on social media, which shows that History Sheeter has been allowed to celebrate his birthday, and there are over 30 to 35 people along with this rowdy Sheeter by the name of Kiran in the Ramnagar jail, where there has been a huge decoration which has been put up inside cell number 2 as well, and this comes on the backdrop of an inmate from Hindalga jail, Jayesh Pujari, making threat calls to the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari. So this has now gone on to point out to the fact that there has been several questions raised about the safety in the jail as well as the strict measures that will be taken by the police officials, because somewhere the lackadaisical attitude of the police officials is seen, and also the prisoners are able to get through mobile phones, food and liquor for celebration as well. So who's gone on to give these permission to these accused is one of the questions that is being asked. And also in terms of the infrastructure, the jails in Karnataka or across Karnataka will have to go on and improve on it, because this is something which will turn out to be a huge problem for the government in the future.
Time now for a short break. On the other side, the Election Commission news briefing at 2:30 p.m. ECI to declare dates of polling in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
From dropping the nuclear threat to saying Pakistan has learnt lessons.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Bhutto's boss Sharif admits lesson learnt. From embarrassed to learning lessons. Pakistan forced to fall in line.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As a Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
Mails exchanged with Robert Vadra.
The allegation against Robert Vadra being that this central London property, which is in the name of Sanjay Bhandari, is a property that is de facto owned by none other than Robert Vadra himself.
An arms dealer tracked down to London.
Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari.
An investigation the nation followed. Sanjay Bhandari will be extradited. A Republic investigation impact.
Viewers, top headlines are tracking right now at this point of time. Let's start in an attempt to, in fact, unite opposition. KCR organizes first big rally in Telangana's Khammam. Aam Aadmi Party SP and left in Telangana, Kejriwal, Maan and Akhilesh joins KCR's ambitious rally. Video goes viral. Telangana BJP chief Bandi Sanjay's son booked for assault. Aam Aadmi Party MLA waves bundle of notes in Delhi Assembly, makes massive claims. Tamil Nadu Governor issues clarification, says did not mean to suggest name change of state. It's getting some breaking news coming in. Republic has accessed the statements of relatives of D gang members to NIA. The statements indicate the D gang controls the Karachi airport. We're getting some sensational details coming in of the D company investigation details we're getting for you right now. And the big question we're asking on Republic TV is, does the D company control the Karachi airport? Are the Pakistani airlines controlled by the D company? And in fact, the statements to NIA reveal Dawood controls Karachi airport. Let's go to Niranjan joining us from Mumbai newsroom for more. Niranjan, take us through this big breaking we're getting for our viewers right now.
Well, a few years back, Republic TV had we had broken the Dawood files. We had visited his house in Karachi. We passed his residence in Clifton, Karachi. We had those pictures as well. So our correspondent in Pakistan had shown where Dawood lives, which lane Dawood lives, what kind of security Dawood gets. All of these visuals are also there. So in the course of this broadcast, we'll pull out those visuals as well. But let me tell you, the files that we have accessed, and Alisha's accessed these files, we'll pull out some details. Essentially, this is the investigation by the NIA on the Dawood files, and the Dawood files reveal that Dawood gang in Pakistan controls the Karachi airport. Let me read out one statement, for example. This is the statement of Sazia Mohammad Salim Qureshi, wife of Salim Qureshi, or Salim Fruit. This is her detailed testimony. It's an explosive testimony that talks about how she visited Pakistan. And I'm going to talk about this particular portion because she says she visited Karachi in 2013. She, along with her children, visited Karachi for the engagement of Chota Shakil's daughter. So there are weddings taking place in Pakistan of underworld dons, and it's happening in Karachi. So she says here that Chota Shakil's daughter Zoya's engagement was at Karachi. And not just that, in 2014, March 2014, I, along with my children, visited Pakistan illegally. Illegal visit to Pakistan, illegal visit. And not just that, she also goes on to talk about how she visited Karachi, and she says, I went to Karachi, Pakistan by a Pakistani airline. We were taken out of Karachi airport without a stamp. Says she was taken out of Karachi airport without a stamp by some person who sent from Chota Shakil and went to Chota Shakil's house to attend the engagement ceremony. They stayed at Chota Shakil's house in Karachi for 5 to 6 days, and then some person who was sent by Chota Shakil arranged for a ticket to the UAE, and they once again entered the airport without a stamp. So they are saying that in Karachi, there were people from Mumbai going to Karachi, and they were taken out of the airport without a stamp, without immigration, without any checks. So they controlled, the Dawood gang controlled the airport in Karachi is what we are picking up. And these are details that have emerged in the NIA investigation. We'll go across to Alisha as well, but explosive details that are coming to the forefront that shows how until 2014, until the Modi government came in, the D company was operating freely between India and Pakistan. Salim Fruit who was picked up by the agencies in India. His wife, she has said on record, she was taken to Karachi. She went to Karachi in Pakistan, attended a wedding in Pakistan. Her children went to Pakistan, and all of them had free access to the Karachi airport. Nobody stopped them. Taken outside the airport without any stamp, without any checks, stayed in Chota Shakil's house, left the airport, entered the airport, exited the airport without any checks, and they were traveling freely between India, Pakistan and UAE. And all of this was happening pre-2014, which is revealed in this entire, the document, the dossier accessed by Republic TV, the Dawood files, details of which we are picking up and breaking part by part. It's a long trail of documents that we have, which runs into over 100 pages, and we're picking up the details. And this is one such detail that has emerged, that the Dawood company, D gang controls the Karachi airport. Who comes in, who goes out? Can you imagine, in an international airport, people are coming in and going out without any checks, are given free access. The wife of Salim Fruit here is saying that Chota Shakil sent a man. Chota Shakil sent a man to ensure that their passports are not stamped or checked. They've exited the airport without any stamp or check. They entered the airport without any stamp or check. And this is how the D company has been operating for decades now. This is a big expose. We knew always that he was in Karachi, but this is for the first time that you have something on record in India. The Indian agencies, the NIA, has gone on record to say that it was Dawood's company that is operating from Karachi, and people from Mumbai, I repeat, people from Mumbai were traveling to Karachi and staying in Dawood gang homes, attending the weddings of their children, and all of this is for the first time, coming on record. Let's try and see if we can go across to Alisha and Shravan as well. This is a big news break. The Dawood files accessed by Republic TV. It's a part-by-part investigation that we are putting out. If Alisha is live, I'll go across to her as well. Alisha, just before I come across to you, just once again to all our viewers joining us, once again getting you the details of what the Dawood files reveal. The Dawood files reveal, and I'm reading from it. We'll stick to the graphics on air. I'm just reiterating what is there. So I'm going to also pull out, by the way, we had shots of where Dawood stays in Karachi, in Clifton, Karachi. Those were visuals as part of the Republic investigation. We had pulled out some of those. We had reported from there, and we had those videos of where Dawood stays, and the pictures will also be on Republic TV in a short while from now. But in 2014, I repeat, in 2013 and 2014, the wife of Salim Fruit, whose testimony we have accessed, her name is Sazia Mohammed Salim Qureshi, wife of Salim Qureshi or Salim Fruit, said that she had visited Karachi in 2013 to attend Chota Shakil's daughter's engagement, and she goes on to detail how many visits were made, and not just one, several visits. Says in 2013 she visited Karachi, in 2014 she visited Pakistan, and she along with her children visited Pakistan illegally to attend Chota Shakil's younger daughter Anam's engagement in Karachi. Salim Fruit didn't attend the program, went to Karachi, Pakistan by a Pakistani airline, taken out of the Karachi airport without any stamp. Look at this, taken out of the Karachi airport without stamp by some person who was sent from Chota Shakil, and went to Chota Shakil's house, attended engagement ceremony, stayed at Chota Shakil's house in Karachi for 5 to 6 days. Then some person who was sent by Chota Shakil arranged for a ticket to the UAE. So explosive details coming in of the Dawood gang, the Dawood files accessed by Republic, and we'll try and get some reactions to this as well. Big revelation. There are several pages. What we'll do is we'll pull out some more pages from the Dawood files and show some more pages of what the Dawood files reveal. Essentially, Shivangi, this is what we have. This is just part one, and part one shows completely how Dawood controlled, these are exclusive pictures that we had accessed back then in Clifton, Karachi, where Dawood Ibrahim's residence is in Karachi. And in this residence, look at that, those were pictures that we had accessed when we reported from there, and this is in Clifton, Karachi, and we had done an extensive report from there, and it appears now that he, not just he, but his entire gang is operating from there, and all the details on your screen right now of how he just doesn't live there in Karachi, but he controls what happens in Karachi. He controls what happens in Karachi. Who comes in from the Karachi airport, who gets out of the Karachi airport. He can even get people in and out without being stamped. So that tells you that complete control of the airport in Karachi, Pakistan was with the D gang, was with the Dawood gang. And I think it's a huge confession made by someone who is linked to the Dawood gang. This is the wife of Salim Fruit, once again in Mumbai, who's made this admission. Shivangi, just trying to get more reactions to the story as well as we stay on this, because this is a very, very big revelation that has been made, a testimony that's on record. So it's not just a version that they can deny, because over the years, we have shown how he had a Pakistani address. We have dialed the wife of Dawood Ibrahim at one point, and his family was tracked down. Mehjabeen Sheikh, his family was tracked down, his address was tracked down, and his entire gang has been tracked down to Karachi. We know their addresses, where they stay, how they stay, the kind of protection they get from the Pakistan Army and the ISI, and it is alarming, the control that they have over Karachi. because Dawood gang, it appears, almost has control over the Pakistan government to some extent. Of course, they must have bought them out. It appears that they had control of the Karachi airport. These are explosive details, very explosive details. For the first time, this Karachi airport angle is emerging, and we should be able to get more details, because we're still going through the papers, Shivangi. We're going through the papers. We'll try and get more reactions as well to this story.
All right, so Niranjan getting us all the top updates right now, and viewers, so this is a Republic news break we're getting for you, where Republic has accessed a statement of the relatives of the D gang members to NIA. The statements indicate that D gang controls Karachi airport, and India's most wanted gangster Dawood Ibrahim's D company operatives are getting hassle-free access at the Karachi airport in Pakistan. We'll get you to learn some more details about that. And we're also learning right now, viewers, is that it looks like Dawood Ibrahim is ruling the Karachi airport in Pakistan, where associates of his are getting special treatment. At the same time, the NIA is probing terror funding cases involving Dawood Ibrahim and his syndicate. And they have revealed that the operatives of the D company are getting special treatment at Pakistan's Karachi airport. So we're getting you these back-to-back updates coming in right now. And this is raising a couple of questions as well. That does D company control the Karachi airport? And also the statements made to NIA. Now these statements are the statements of the relatives of the D gang members to NIA, where they're saying and they're suggesting that the Pakistan Airlines and is Dawood controlling the Karachi airport. Many questions coming up. Niranjan is joining us back right now for more. Niranjan, over to you.
Well, yes, sir. You know, these are details that we knew, but for the first time, for the first time we are getting something on record in terms of testimonies. This has been recorded as a statement, and not just one statement. There are several statements. We are trying to get more voices on this. We'll try and get more voices on this. We'll try and get Alisha and Shawan as well, because there are several aspects to this. One is the kind of control that they had on the Pakistani establishment and the Pakistani government, the airports in Pakistan, the ports in Pakistan, that people from Mumbai were taking flights from India, from Mumbai, going to Pakistan, not getting any stamp, exiting the airports without a stamp, entering the airport without a stamp, and flying out of there to Dubai to make it seem like they were flying from Mumbai to Dubai, because those would technically be the only stamps that they have. So Chota Shakil, D gang having complete control of the airport in Karachi. I think Colonel RSN Singh is joining us on the phone line. Colonel RSN Singh, the Dawood files, details in the Dawood files showing the extent to which Dawood company controls Pakistani army, Pakistani government, Pakistani airports. It seems like Karachi is their city almost.
No, it's only when you are a strategic asset for the country you are given, such facilities and access. It is not unusual for for strategic assets like this in different countries, or intelligence agencies. This just goes to show that what is the strategic cloud that he wields within the Pakistani establishment. For you and I, he may be just another underworld figure, a very significant underworld figure, or a smuggler, or someone who is dabbling in real estate and etc., or all the illegal activities. For what Pakistan, he is a strategic asset to be unleashed from time to time on the financial or the economic capital of India, and that is Mumbai. And therefore, I always maintain that Dawood Ibrahim has, he partially controls at least three activities in India, and that is politics, Bollywood, and cricket. So we all know it. It's an open secret. Just I dare somebody to come out with the contents of the Vohra committee, and you will have everything in black and white. but somehow you have, we are very, very, reluctant to acknowledge this. While we all talk in the private, there are leaders here, political leaders here in India who have been, flourishing under the patronage of Dawood Ibrahim, and it's not vice versa.
No, absolutely.
Politicians flourishing under the patronage of vice versa, and
for some reason.
Padma Vibhushan.
Yeah, completely agree. And so their names, and you ask them the questions, they never come on record. In fact, they're in touch. We hear that some of them are in touch. Savio would know. Savio is joining us along with PK Jain. Savio and PK Jain. Okay, let me put this question to PK Jain. PK Jain, these are NIA statements. These are documents, files that we have accessed, files that show how people from the Dawood gang, those linked to the Dawood gang, were flying in and out of Pakistan. This is Salim Fruit's wife on record. There's a testimony saying she flew to Karachi, and was in Karachi, exited the airport without a stamp, entered the airport without a stamp, no checks, was taken to Chota Shakil's house. And if she said all of this on record to the NIA, and all of this is, before 2014. She says 2013, 2014, March, there were visits made. How is it that nobody knew about these visits? How is it that the police, the agencies in India, nobody had a clue about what was going on, PK Jain, if it did happen?
The fact that Pakistan government's patronage was always extended to Dawood Ibrahim, much before the Mumbai blast took place. And the people used to earlier go via Dubai or via Iran. They would go to Pakistan and get the Pakistani passport. So they had a parallel passport available with them. Their passports were not stamped. They were clear. All the things are absolutely correct. The agencies have been in the know of the things. It takes time for the agencies to find out as to which person is flying under which name and under which Pakistani passport. Unfortunately, at that time, the biometrics and all these things were not in place. So it was, it was information-based or technical intelligence-based input, which would enable the agencies to take any action. Much more sophisticated. Agencies have also become much more sophisticated in terms of technology and in terms of tracking the immediate happenings in the neighboring country and in the enemy countries. So I think it's better in place. But it's a fact, all along Karachi airport from Dubai.
All right, I'm also going to go across to Savio Rodrigues, the chief editor of the Goa Chronicles, who's joining us right now on Republic TV. And this is a big news break that we have, where while Pakistan keeps denying that it has any kind of connections when it comes to terrorism, at the same time we're getting to know that Dawood Ibrahim is getting a very, very warm welcome at the Karachi airport, and not just him, even his associates.
Well, that's not surprising, because Pakistan and Dawood's relationship go back a couple of decades, and that's not rocket science, or that's not intelligent information to the large section of the society, because they know Pakistan and Dawood are connected. But what is even more surprising is that certain sections in India, the political section, the sections within the investigating agency, why have information that is available of the family of Dawood in India, family of Dawood traveling from India to Pakistan, have we not been able to track them? That is important, because there's never been a political will.
Okay.
There's never been a political will before 2014 to go after Dawood Ibrahim because of Dawood Ibrahim's connections with a certain political
class. Savio Rodrigues, thank you for joining us. We're just running out of time right now. We are getting some more breaking news coming in, but thank you so much for joining us on this Republic news break.
spotlight is on BK Hariprasad, who is the leader of opposition in council for the Congress, where he's compared BJP cabinet ministers to prostitutes, and he's also gone on to state that helpless women sell their bodies for money, and in the same way the BJP netas went on and sold themselves to the BJP for their own selfish needs as well. And this is something which has not been taken kindly by the BJP party, and also the cabinet ministers too have gone on to hit out at BK Hariprasad, stating that his statements are distasteful, and such unparliamentary language and vulgar words should not be used as well. And now we will have to look in as to what the Congress has to say, because the BJP has been highlighting the double standards of the Congress, saying that they are launching schemes for the women, but they do not respect the women itself. So their whole scheme also loses steam in the upcoming 2023 elections. With video journalist Bhagat, Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Bengaluru.
All right, viewers, the ruling Bharat Rashtriya Samiti's first public meeting in Telangana would be held in Khammam town. It's happening, and a host of leaders, including Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, are set to take part in it. Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann, his Kerala counterpart Pinarayi Vijayan, CPI General Secretary D. Raja, and Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav are also attending the BRS meeting. And you can see the visuals coming in right now. Now, this meet assumes political significance, as it is the first public meeting after the TRS decided to go national by renaming itself BRS, and also because leaders of different opposition parties, BRS, Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party and the left, would be seen together. So the visuals coming in right now at the meeting has begun already, and in fact we're seeing these visuals coming in for all our viewers. Now, this is the first time the BRS Supremo has invited heads of regional parties from other states to Telangana since the year 2014. And Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann have arrived for the BRS meeting. The visuals of that on your screen as well. And it does, of course, have a lot of political significance, because KCR has been...
हम सरकार से हमारे को सपोर्ट किया है। प्रधानमंत्री जी जब भी हमें खिलाड़ियों से मिलते हैं, बात करते हैं, हमेशा उनका यही रहा कि आप आराम से खेलिए और देश के लिए मेडल जीतिए। हमारी गवर्नमेंट से कोई लड़ाई नहीं है, हमारी लड़ाई सिर्फ फेडरेशन से है। 4 बजे बताएंगे मैडम।
All right, viewers, we're getting some more breaking news coming in, where wrestler Bajrang Punia has alleged harassment by the Wrestling Federation. He has taken to Twitter, and I quote here: "The sportsperson work hard to win medals for the country, but the federation has done nothing but let us down. Players are being harassed by imposing arbitrary laws." So we're getting this breaking news coming in right now, where we are getting these top updates. We just heard the sound bite as well, where Bajrang Punia, the wrestler, is staging a protest. Those are visuals coming in at this point of time, viewers, for you on your screen, where he has alleged harassment by the Wrestling Federation. Let's go to Swesha, who's joining us live from the Delhi newsroom. Swesha, just take our viewers through what they're seeing on the screen, because we are seeing that not just Bajrang Punia, but many other wrestlers are sitting there protesting against the Wrestling Federation of India.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That is what is happening right now. Shivangi, as wrestlers have called it against the Wrestling Federation, they are saying that they are going to boycott it. They have to fight it down, and they will not back down in any which way. They are saying that the federation has let them down in very many ways, and while they at one end train so hard and work so hard to make the country proud, to win laurels for the country, this is how the federation is letting them down instead of supporting them, which they should, which is why we've seen several tweets from Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik, and there you see pictures coming in from Jantar Mantar, where wrestlers are protesting in full swing against the federation. They have a couple of issues. They are alleging harassment. They are saying that there is no cooperation from the front of the federation. They are saying that their dates are clashing with the World Championships, and primarily they are saying that they've had it enough with the Wrestling Federation, and they now want that they must be listened to, because they are the ones who are really responsible for how they take the country places and how they make the name, they make India proud with how hard they work. And tweets that have come in from Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik that primarily read where they say that sportspersons work so hard to win medals for the country, but the federation has done nothing but let them down. Players are being harassed.
इंडिया के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट है और बस हम सारे जो है रेसलर्स इकट्ठे हुए हैं और 4 बजे हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे और उसमें जो जो हमारे इशू हैं वो रखेंगे। 4 बजे
क्या डिमांड है?
वो हम 4 बजे ही बताएंगे। 4 बजे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे। कुछ हमारे और साथी आने बाकी हैं, हम जुड़े हैं साथ में, तो 4 बजे हम आपको बताएंगे।
All right, so you just heard from Sakshi Malik, who's also joined the protest, and Bajrang Punia, of course, is leading it for all the wrestlers, where they are now raising their voice against the federation, saying that the federation has only let them down and has never supported them, and it is they who are really responsible. They work so hard, they win medals for India, they make the country proud, but the federation has let them down, and the players are now being harassed by arbitrary laws that are being imposed by the federation. So we see these protests that are being staged at Jantar Mantar by the wrestlers who have now united against the federation, and they want to be heard. They've also put out these tweets to the Prime Minister, Home Minister and the PM office, where they are saying that they will hold a news conference at 4 PM and they'll put down all the details of the issues that they really have against the federation. But they are saying that arbitrary laws that they are forced to accept, that are imposed on them by the federation in so many ways, where they are saying that the issue also is of how laws are imposed upon them, of how several dates that clash with the World Championships, and these are the very many issues that they have been raising with the federation, but all their calls go unheard, because of which they have now united. They want to boycott the federation, and they are reaching out to the Prime Minister and the Home Minister through their tweets. Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik leading this protest. We see how they are sitting at Jantar Mantar staging this protest, where they've come out in the open now and they are voicing against the federation, saying that this cannot be the norm. This cannot go on any further like this. The federation just imposes its ways on the wrestlers, whereas they are the ones who actually work hard. They are the ones who toil it, and they are the ones who make the country proud by winning medals. And instead of the federation really cooperating with them and understanding what their needs are, they go on to impose arbitrary laws, and now the wrestlers are saying that they are unwilling to follow what the federation says anymore.
देखिए भाई, डिमांड कुछ नहीं है। जो तानाशाही चल रही है वो अब खिलाड़ी नहीं सहना चाहते, क्योंकि बहुत दिन से खिलाड़ियों को दबाया जा रहा था। और जो खुलासे होंगे वो 4 बजे होंगे। 3 से 4 बजे हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे, उसमें सभी खुलासे करेंगे। आज एक बड़ा खुलासा जो लोगों को पता लगेगा कि भी रेसलिंग में ऐसा कुछ चल रहा है, तो वो खुलासे आज 4 बजे जब कॉन्फ्रेंस होगी तभी करेंगे। हम सरकार से हमारे को सपोर्ट किया है। प्रधानमंत्री जी जब भी हमें खिलाड़ियों से मिलते हैं, बात करते हैं, हमेशा उनका यही रहा कि आप आराम से खेलिए और देश के लिए मेडल जीतिए। हमारी गवर्नमेंट से कोई लड़ाई नहीं है, हमारी लड़ाई सिर्फ फेडरेशन से है।
हमारा रेसलिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट है और बस हम सारे जो है रेसलर्स इकट्ठे हुए हैं और 4 बजे हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे और उसमें जो जो हमारे इशू हैं वो रखेंगे।
4 बजे?
4 बजे।
क्या डिमांड है?
वो हम 4 बजे ही बताएंगे। 4 बजे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे। कुछ हमारे और साथी आने बाकी हैं, हम जुड़े हैं साथ में, तो 4 बजे हम आपको बताएंगे।
All right, so we are getting those top bites coming in, top reactions coming in. In fact, India's top wrestlers are sitting there. We are seeing Vinesh Fogart, Sakshi Malik, Sangeeta Fogart, Bajrang, Sona Malik, Anshu. Many of these top wrestlers sitting there during a protest at Jantar Mantar against the Wrestling Federation of India's way of functioning. And they're also saying that there will be a press conference at around 4 p.m. when they will be speaking more about their demands that they want to put forward. So Isha, I think you're there with us still. Just take our viewers through exactly what we can expect next right now. because it looks like that these wrestlers have a lot of grievances.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And clearly issues have been piling up that they have now brought it to this level. All of them have united at the Jantar Mantar, where they are protesting against the Federation. And of course, they're not putting out details of the specifics that they have against the Federation. But 4 p.m. is when we can expect the expose against the Federation by the wrestlers.
Sorry to interrupt you, Swesha. We're getting some breaking news coming in. Getting in breaking news right now. Vadra Congress in fighting continues. Manpreet Badal resigns from the Congress. Getting some breaking updates coming in right now. Big update. Manpreet Badal quits Congress. That's coming in. Big news coming in right now, viewers. And of course, we are getting some more details where he's written a letter to Rahul Gandhi as well. We'll play that out. I will tell you exactly what that letter says. But let's go to Piyush Mishra, who's also joining us. Piyush, Manpreet Badal has resigned from the Congress. He's written a very long letter to Rahul Gandhi where he's spoken about and highlighted many issues that he was facing. Take us through what we are learning so far.
You are now being seen as a very big jolt to the Congress party. Remember that this resignation is coming just days after Rahul Gandhi took out Yatra, Bharat Jodo Yatra in the state of Punjab. During that Bharat Jodo Yatra, Manpreet Badal was absent. In fact, Channi had joined that particular Yatra, former Chief Minister of Punjab. But Manpreet Badal was missing from that entire the event of the Congress party, and at that time itself the speculations were rife that Manpreet Badal could tender his resignation. And today what we are learning is that the former Finance Minister of Punjab and one of the topmost leaders of Congress party has now tendered his resignation. He has written a long letter to the Congress party, and from that letter we have also accepted that letter. I am quoting a very important point which has been highlighted by Manpreet Badal in his letter, where he says, and I quote, "I do not see the point in elaborating extensively on all the particular proceedings that led to my ultimate and irrevocable disaffection. Suffice it to say that the manner in which the Congress party has conducted its affairs and taken decisions, especially with regards to Punjab, has been disheartening to say the least. The coterie of men entrusted with the authority to dictate Delhi's writ to the Punjab unit of Congress are far from sound. Instead of striving to reduce internal disagreement in an already divided house, these men etched to further increase factionalism and almost as a matter of policy strengthen the very worst elements within the party. I devoted every ounce of energy to every office I have had the honor of holding, both in the party and the government. I thank you for having provided me these opportunities and for the kindness and courtesy you have shown in the past. Regretfully, given the present culture within the party and the defined desire to persist in the present course, I no longer wish to be the part of International Congress." And that is the message which Manpreet Badal is sending out to none less than Rahul Gandhi. Remember that Rahul Gandhi is the one who is leading that entire Bharat Jodo Yatra, but it seems like Congress Toro is going on, where the leaders not only from the state of Punjab but also during his journey from Kanyakumari to Delhi to Punjab, we have seen many Congress party leaders putting down their resignation, and this is now being seen another huge jolt, a big jolt to the Congress party in the state of Punjab, where Manpreet Badal has now resigned his resignation. In fact, he is now blaming the coterie of men, those have been entrusted with the authority to dictate Delhi's writ to Punjab, which means he is highlighting what Captain Amrinder Singh has highlighted. Remember that Captain Amrinder Singh is also one of the, in fact, former Congress leaders, one of the topmost faces of the Congress party. He also, when he had resigned his resignation at the time, also he had returned to Sonia Gandhi, and he also highlighted as to how that the Congress is now a divided house and nobody is ready to listen or to address the concerns of the leaders of our state, particularly. In fact, whenever such issues are
raised every time, no solution has come out. And now we are seeing as to how massive controversy is now erupting, where Manpreet Badal deciding to resign. But we're now learning, Shivangi, is that any minute from now there's a press conference which is going to take place at the BJP headquarters, where Manpreet Badal is going to join the BJP, and it will be a big boost for the BJP state unit of Punjab.
Boost for the BJP state unit of Punjab, where we will see another top most Congress leader coming and joining the faction. Remember that earlier, not only Captain Amrinder Singh, but also Javier Shergill, who hails from Punjab, he too joined the BJP outfit. We have seen many Congress workers coming out in open and criticizing the functioning of the party there in the state. This is not Manpreet Badal is not the only leader who is raising this. We have seen before the elections of Punjab State Assembly elections how the fight was out in open, not only between Navjot Singh Sidhu and Captain Amrinder Singh, but also between Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charanjit Singh Channi, when Channi was also appointed the Chief Minister of Punjab by the topmost leadership of Congress party. At that time also Navjot Singh Sidhu was not happy. So just to keep one man happy, Congress party has always avoided, always rejected the aspirations of other Congress leaders, and this is now coming out in open, where Manpreet Badal is in a strong written letter.
और एक खिलाड़ी के लिए उसका खेल भी एक साधना ही है, एक तपस्या है, और जिसमें वो अपने आप को तपाता रहता है। और सफल खिलाड़ी का फोकस भी बहुत सटीक होता है, और तब जाकर के एक के बाद एक नए नए पड़ाव पर विजयश्री प्राप्त करता हुआ वो आगे बढ़ता है, सिद्धि हासिल करती है। मुझे खुशी है कि बस्ती में हमारे संसद के साथी भाई हरीश द्विवेदी जी की मेहनत से इतने विशाल खेल महाकुंभ का आयोजन हो रहा है। भारत के खेलों में परंपरागत पारंगत स्थानीय खिलाड़ियों को ये खेल महाकुंभ नई उड़ान का अवसर देंगे। मुझे बताया गया है कि भारत के करीब करीब 200 सांसदों ने अपने यहां इसी तरह एमपी खेल स्पर्धा आयोजित की है, जिसमें हजारों युवाओं ने हिस्सा लिया है। मैं भी एक सांसद हूं, काशी का सांसद हूं, तो मेरे काशी के संसदीय क्षेत्र में भी ऐसा खेल स्पर्धाओं का सिलसिला चल पड़ा है। इसी तरह के खेल महाकुंभ अनेक स्थानों पर कराकर, एमपी खेल स्पर्धा कराकर सभी सांसद नई पीढ़ी का भविष्य गढ़ने का काम कर रहे हैं। सांसद खेल महाकुंभ में अच्छा प्रदर्शन करने वाले युवा खिलाड़ियों को स्पोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स में आगे की ट्रेनिंग के लिए भी चुना जा रहा है। इससे देश की युवा शक्ति को बहुत लाभ होगा। इस महाकुंभ में ही 40,000 से ज्यादा युवा हिस्सा ले रहे हैं, और मुझे बताया गया कि पिछले साल की तुलना में ये 3 गुना ज्यादा है। मैं आप सभी को, मेरे सभी युवा दोस्तों को इन खेलों के लिए ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। अभी मुझे खो खो देखने का अवसर मिला। हमारी बेटियां जिस चतुराई के साथ और टीम के साथ पूरी तरह टीम स्पिरिट से खेल रही थी, वाकई बड़ा आनंद आ रहा था देख करके खेल को। मैं जानता नहीं हूं मेरी ताली आपको सुनाई दे रही थी कि नहीं दे रही थी, लेकिन एक बढ़िया खेल खेलने के लिए और मुझे भी खो खो के खेल का आनंद प्राप्त करने का अवसर देने के लिए मैं इन सभी बेटियों को बधाई देता हूं, उनका अभिनंदन करता हूं। साथियों, सांसद खेल महाकुंभ की एक और विशेष बात है, इसमें बड़ी संख्या में हमारी बेटियां हिस्सा ले रही है और मुझे विश्वास है बस्ती, पूर्वांचल, यूपी और देश की बेटियां ऐसे ही राष्ट्रीय, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय प्रतियोगिताओं में अपना दमखम दिखाती रहेगी। अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही हमने देखा है कि विमेन अंडर 19 T20 वर्ल्ड कप में हमारे देश की कप्तान शेफाली वर्मा ने कितना शानदार प्रदर्शन किया। बेटी शेफाली ने लगातार 5 गेंदों में 5 चौके मारे और फिर ओवर की आखिरी गेंद पर छक्का मारकर एक ही ओवर में 26 रन बना दिए। ऐसे ही कितना सारा टैलेंट भारत के कोने कोने में है। स्पोर्ट्स टैलेंट को तराशने में इस तरह के सांसद खेल महाकुंभ की बड़ी भूमिका है। साथियों, एक वक्त था जब स्पोर्ट्स की गिनती एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी में के तौर पर हुआ करती थी, यानी इसे